pizza for your loyal employees and clients. Your second pizza is free. Your employees are going to love it. It's great pizza. Coaches, bring in your team for free pizza. Your kids and grandkids can safely play in that huge game room. It's quietly tucked away from the dining area. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mine Shaft. Order now for your employees and pick up your hot pizza shortly, or dine in the cool and comfortable Mine Shaft restaurant in beautiful downtown Hartford or near the EAA in Oshkosh. Mondays are tough enough. Don't cook. Buy one pizza today. Get one free. MineShaftRestaurant.com. It's the amazing Mine Shaft.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Protect mom's assets. Protect your assets. Call Kraus Estate Planning, estateplanningpeople.com.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano, and this is Wisconsin's Morning News for Monday, September 16th. Our top story: an arrest after another apparent attempted assassination.
I'm Erik. Bilstad. A controversial mural vandalized again.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we do have an accident to start things off on northbound Brewers Boulevard, just before I-94. Center lane is blocked right now, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, everything else seems to be rolling along just fine. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today: mostly sunny and warm. High of 88 degrees, a little bit cooler near Lake Michigan. Mostly clear skies tonight with a low down to 63. Right now it's 64 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, former President Donald Trump is safe. He remains at his home in Mar-a-Lago this morning after another possible assassination attempt. The suspect has been identified as Ryan Wesley Routh, 58 years old. He'd been living in Hawaii most recently. CBS News correspondent Christian Benitez has more from the scene in West Palm Beach.
Arrested a man after Secret Service agents saw the muzzle of an AK-47 style rifle pointing toward President Trump through shrubbery while he was golfing Sunday at his golf club in West Palm Beach.
Our agents engaged. We are not sure right now if the individual was able to take a shot at our agents.
A witness reported the suspect's license plate numbers to police. Within minutes, the FBI took him into custody without incident in a neighboring county.
In separate statements, both President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris said that type of violence has no place in America.
The world reacting to the news.
Typical of the overseas reaction, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese.
Everyone wants the democratic process to be peaceful and to be orderly.
Viewed from afar, events like this and the one 9 weeks ago do not put the U.S. in a good light. But as Albanese says,
President Trump is safe. That is a good thing.
Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
Installed, vandalized, cleaned up, then vandalized again, all within a couple of days.
That's a summary of what's happened so far to a controversial new mural in Milwaukee near Holton and Locust depicting a swastika inside the Star of David. The Milwaukee Common Council has condemned the mural, calling it, quote, hurtful and divisive, and requesting the property owner take it down. The building's owner, Ihsan Atta, telling TMJ4 News.
So the message intended is to bring awareness of the genocide that's taking place in Palestine.
Atta says he would only remove the mural if the Common Council apologizes for its statement and condemns the genocide in Gaza. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The weather pattern is going to stay dry for the foreseeable future. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore says the next best chance for some rain could be a week.
They're wondering when our next rain chances are. I'm thinking Sunday into this time next week, Monday, maybe Tuesday, maybe some rain chances. And that's not even looking like a home run in the forecast either. So we still have about a week to go before even there's any small rain chances in the forecast.
So far in September, Milwaukee has only seen 2/100ths of an inch of rain. More than 3 inches off the average amount for the month. The complete WTMJ 5-day forecast is coming up in 7 minutes.
Packers improved to 1-1 following a 16-10 win over the Indianapolis Colts. Jordan Love on the sideline, in sweats. Backup quarterback Malik Willis. Command of the offense like he'd been doing it for years.
Malik Willis arrived in Green Bay August 26th, having never won a game or completed a touchdown pass in 3 career starts.
And the last opportunity I got to start a game was my rookie year. I wasn't where I wanted to be as far as the offense went or playing NFL football, as a rookie.
On Sunday, Willis completed 12 of 14 passes for 122 yards and a touchdown, impressing head coach Matt LaFleur.
There was a lot put on his plate, and for him to be able to go out there and do what he did today, I think that speaks volumes of who he is as a person and the work that he's put in.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Coming up, coming back to court for a popular social media app, citing Unlimited. WTMJ News Time 6:04.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Jeff Levering here, asking the question, what does baseball have in common with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Manufacturing. Pella manufactures all their own products. Baseball teams have a similar homegrown strategy by developing its own players in the minors. Testing. Pella tests every product thousands upon thousands of times to ensure it stands the test of time. The ultimate test for baseball players to get called up to the big leagues, hoping to play well enough to stay. Pella is also the window and door equivalent of hitting for the cycle. Quality craftsmanship and innovative design are built into every Pella product for timeless beauty and performance. And now, Gina Della from Pella is here to call the big finale.
Thanks, Jeff. Pella windows and doors are best in class, not only from the endless styles, but for the features you can't see. And now for something you almost can't believe. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Hurry, the deal lasts only until September 30th, so visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. For love of the game.
There's nothing like being selected to the Olympic team.
And love of their country.
Championship of that level, gold medal, means more.
Tune into Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Inside stories from Buck stars on the agony and triumph of competing to win it all at the Olympics. It's Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
As the leaves start to turn and the air gets crisp, it's the perfect time to think about your outdoor space. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Go with the company I trust, Landworks Wisconsin. From stunning fall displays and holiday decorating to dormant pruning and bed cleanups, they're doing that for me. Landworks has you covered. The beauty of fall is all around us, and your garden and yard should be no exception. Enhance your outdoor space with professional services from Landworks. Make your home the envy of the neighborhood. Find your outdoor inspiration at landworkswisconsin.com, landworkswisconsin.com.
We're Ted and Pam, owners of Church and Chapel Funeral Homes here in town.
Our family, serving your family.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Signing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 6:06.
Yes, he puked on the football. Erik says I had to talk about it.
Don't blame me.
Yes, it's your fault. We'll do that story in sports at 6:15.
In Washington, TikTok facing a critical hearing today as its Chinese owner is fighting a law that would ban the TikTok app in the U.S. ABC's Rhiannon Alley.
TikTok and its parent company ByteDance facing an ultimatum. Sell the app or be banned. Lawyers for the social media giant are scheduled to argue in court today that the law that could ban the app is unconstitutional. It comes less than 5 months after President Biden signed a bill into law giving ByteDance until January to find a new owner for TikTok. With more than 170 million users, TikTok has become one of the biggest players in the social media landscape, with everyone from influencers to politicians taking part.
Now, TikTok and the Justice Department are asking for a ruling by the first week in December, which could then allow the U.S. Supreme Court to take up the decision before any ban takes effect.
Thousands of Boeing workers are still on strike after rejecting a contract offer late last week. Union machinists overwhelmingly voted against a deal that would have included a 25% raise over several years. Boeing worker A.J. Jones says the machinists are looking for a significant 40% pay bump.
Food prices are going up. The cost of living is going up. And we believe that we deserve better. So that's why our brothers and sisters are out here raising our voice, and we want a better deal.
Boeing says it's looking for ways to save money while it looks for a contract the union will accept.
Richie and the Fonz reunite at the Emmys.
Henry Winkler slammed the jukebox just like he used to as he and Ron Howard returned to celebrate Happy Days' 50th anniversary on ABC, but something didn't feel quite right.
Did you notice anything though? Well, there was no music when that thing went up. No theme song. Candace Bergen had a theme song.
Yeah, of course she would get one.
Winkler refused to sing the Happy Days theme song, insisting he was out of practice. The two men presented the award for Outstanding Director for a Comedy Series to Christopher Storer for Fishes. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
The Japanese show Shogun was the big winner in the Emmys on Sunday night.
I'm not familiar with that one. Do you know that?
It's on FX. First season, and it just rolled.
You usually tell me when I have to watch these things. So you're not on this one?
It's a remake of the one that came out in the 70s or the early 80s.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was like
that was the big mini series that everybody was so excited about. Oh, it's a mini series. Ooh.
Okay.
It's
It was a cool show though.
6:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield is excited to welcome Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeck.com. Debbie?
Okay, well, we've got Brewers Boulevard closed just before I-94. There is a crash there. Originally, it was in the center lane. Now they've got the roadway northbound closed. So you can't get onto the freeway using Brewers Boulevard, so keep that in mind. Southbound side's looking okay. As a matter of fact, the rest of the system's looking okay. I'm not seeing really any delays. No other major incidents either. It's a broken down vehicle eastbound 94 through the zoo, but it's not even in traffic. So you should be okay around this outside of this area here. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High of 88 degrees today, a little bit cooler near the lake under mostly sunny skies. Similar temperatures tomorrow. And then for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, high temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. Not a drop of rain in the 5-day forecast.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Trump safe, suspect in custody.
There's no indication that he had any mean bone in his body that would drive him to do something like this.
Neighbors of 58-year-old Wyan Wesley Routh never saw it coming, but that's the man authorities arrested, accused of an attempt on former President Trump's life at a golf club in Florida. ABC News chief investigative reporter Josh Margolin is live with us from New York this morning. Josh, can you start by taking us through what we know about how the attempt went down and how the Secret Service was able to foil that attempt?
It was very cinematic. We know now that this individual took up a position outside the fence, but with a line of sight of one of the greens at one of Trump's golf clubs in Florida, and that the Secret Service counter surveillance team working with locals, they go ahead of the former president as he's on a golf course, and they check out the next hole or the next two holes that he's heading to make sure they're secure before he shows up on that particular green. They were there. They saw some movement in the brush out, by the fence. They saw the barrel of the rifle. They immediately gave direction of some sort to this person to either identify himself or to show himself or to drop the gun or something. Did not listen to the instructions, like you see on television, and they fired because there was an obvious threat. There was an obvious gun right there, and the individual dropped the weapon, left his stuff, and took off.
What do we know about this guy?
We're starting to see a picture. They have not formally charged him or announced his name, But the name that we are reporting, that other news organizations have, he appears to be somebody who has a really a long list of social media postings. Seems to at one point have been a supporter of Trump. Seems to have soured on Trump. His big political issue is Ukraine. He said that he had gone to Ukraine to try to become a foreign fighter on behalf of Ukraine in the battle against Russia, but that he was not allowed to do that. It doesn't necessarily seem that he has any military background, but he seemed to have been a wannabe. He was a business owner in North Carolina. We also have some reports that he had owned a business in Hawaii, but it does seem that about 15 or 20 years ago, he had some sort of an episode with law enforcement where he was charged with a weapons charge after some sort of a barricaded subject kind of episode. It does seem online that he was angry, but beyond that, we don't necessarily see that he was announcing or planning to do something violent.
Talking with ABC News Chief Investigative Reporter Josh Margolin. He's live with us from New York this morning. So moving forward, Josh, the president is supposed to be in Michigan former president is supposed to be in Michigan for a town hall campaign event tomorrow. As far as we understand, that is still on. So how difficult for the Secret Service to beef up that security and make sure that he is protected?
Well, as we are reporting this morning, as soon as this happened yesterday, immediately reassessments of all the security, both for Trump as well as for his opponent, Vice President Kamala Harris, as well as for President Biden. The Secret Service protects all of them. They're constantly looking at these things and reassessing. The question really is, was yesterday a failure or a success? We know that it was a failure in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th when the former president was injured. Somebody else was killed. Two other attendees were seriously injured. But yesterday, there's some view that this was a success. That's why there are redundancies. That's why there are agents who protect him physically and stand around him, but that's why there are agents who go ahead of him, who are behind him. There's planning that's made. They have to look at all of these things. They are taking them into account. Obviously, the Secret Service would prefer somebody to never leave a security bubble, the White House or the Naval Observatory or President Trump's home, obviously. But that's not possible, especially for a candidate, especially 50 days out from an election.
Josh Margolin, ABC News Chief Investigative Reporter. Thanks for the time this morning, Josh.
Hey, thank you.
What a fascinating question, right? And that is the question. Was yesterday, in terms of the Secret Service, was it a failure or was it a success? Yeah. It sounds like they're still debating whether or not this guy even got a shot off.
Yeah, they haven't said whether or not he fired. But at the same time, do you need to change your protocols now that you've told everyone, oh, this is what we usually do in the golf course?
Here's how we clear the golf course.
And by the way, that's not a new story. The Secret Service and the challenges of protecting the president or any president when on a golf course has been there. Like, this isn't a new situation where they've had to figure out how best to do that.
Yes, and presidents golfing is not a new thing either.
Correct.
It's been around as long as the presidency in golf. But, right, you're in this area that's, any golf course, it's open and there are accessibility points as well. So it is a challenge. 6:17 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Well, so is there buzz? There is, right? A little bit of buzz for the Brewers. Successful weekend.
We had that game yesterday multiple times.
We did. Yeah, back and forth Sunday afternoon. You wonder if the crew maybe it was intense at times, but still success. The Brewers started the day in a 5-run hole, but a 3-run bomb from Jackson Chourio helped get them on the board. Ultimately, a Chourio 2-run triple in the 10th would put them up.
First and second, 2 out. First pitch, ground ball, right side, base hit. Inside the bag at first and into the right field corner. Scoring is Ortiz. Right behind him, scoring is Terang. Relay to third is not in time. 2-run triple. Jackson Chourio delivers.
Yeah, it was awesome. That put the crew up 10-8, but it was not to be. Jared Kana came out for the 10th inning after pitching the 9th. It looked like they could have used Evan Williams in the 10th. He was ready to go. He wanted to get in, but Murphy said never could pull the trigger on it.
He was available, but not for any extended period. So if you put him in the game with no outs or something like that, then there's potential he's got to throw a high number of pitches and he's not available.
Just didn't want to burn him out. They wanted to use him if there was one out left. If Koenig could get 2 outs, they would have brought Williams in.
So that's why he was up at all. Okay, I got it.
And they never got the 2 outs. Koenig
looked good in the inning prior.
Right. And you can't blow up your bullpen. You got to be methodical, and that's unfortunately what would happen. He gives up a single at the bases loaded. The D-backs win 11-10. Still a successful weekend though. So as of now, the magic number to clinch the NL Central, 3. And the Brewers are 2 games behind the Dodgers for that elusive 2 seed in the playoffs.
To the NFL, Falcons and Eagles tonight in Philadelphia to finish out Week 2. The Packers, that feels better.
He's got room. Josh Jacobs gallops 3. Biggest run in his short tenure with the Packers. Jacobs for 40 yards.
Fox Sports on the call, 40 of his 151 rushing yards.
Jeez.
Packers ran all over the Colts.
Yep.
Ran the ball 53 times. Head coach Matt LaFleur.
It's one thing to want to do that, but to be able to go out there and execute that, I think that says a lot about really just all 11 out there, starting with the offensive line, but our backs were running hard. Our receivers were blocking their butts off like they always do.
Yeah, especially, too, when they know that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
They knew you were going to run.
No surprise.
So to be able to put that on. Now, granted, the Colts, I believe, have the worst rushing defense in the league.
Well, they definitely do now.
Not going to be better after yesterday. Packers beat the Colts 16-10 in the final.
Bears fall to the Texans Sunday Night Football 19-13. Lions get upset by the Buccaneers, and the Vikings are now in first place after beating the 49ers.
Erik says I have to talk about the vomit. I was going to just leave it.
Sound? All right, go ahead.
You think we have to talk about this?
I mean, it is a thing.
It was brought up at the news conference.
They asked the coach about it.
Third down situation. LaFleur calls in a pass play. Quarterback decides to keep it and run with it. LaFleur is confused, as were a lot in the stands, I guess. Turns out he did that because moments before the snap, the center, Josh Myers, puked on the football.
I asked Malik why he didn't throw the ball on that third down, and he told me that Josh threw up on the ball. I was like, that's the first time I've ever heard that.
Okay, so that's what happened there. All right, are we happy?
How did he couldn't get a good grip on it? Didn't feel...
Guess I know, right? There's no way to talk about it without...
Anyway.
I don't know. I call timeout. I see that. Timeout.
No, but he literally snapped the ball immediately after. But I think that actually happens on the field more often than you realize.
It does. Next up for the Packers, they travel to Tennessee to play the Titans. It's a noon kick on Sunday.
Jim never vomits at home.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
There's an active car fire on Brewers Boulevard, southbound.
Call me, Debbie Loziga, at the Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
There's a multi-vehicle accident on 45 northbound, just over Mayfair Road. Looks like the left 2 lanes are blocked.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it?
There's a multi-vehicle accident. Looks like the left 2 lanes are blocked.
Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Hey, not that far away. If you need exterior painting, the bad news is it's going to turn colder quickly, and you'll be going into winter with your important project not done. The good news is still time to get on the schedule with 2-Day Painting. This is the team we brought into our home for a major interior job. So pleased with every step of the process, including the beautiful results. And if you want 2-Day Painting on your project, because they'll also repair cracks, rotting wood, damaged caulk, all things that you want to get tightened up before the snow flies, the fall special is underway. Tell them Vinny sent you. You get 15% off your 2-Day Painting job. Room for you on the schedule? Give them a call now. 2-Day Painting will put a full crew on your project to make sure it's done quickly and done right. No messing around with contractors for weeks. Here's the number to call. It's 262-706-1135, 2daypainting.com.
Here's to celebrating everyone's favorite time of year in Wisconsin with all our arty, fun-loving, foodie, feasting fall events. There's Kohler Food and Wine, Aaron's Art on Wheels at Road America, Red Cliff Cultural Days, Holy Hill Art and Craft Fair, and the fests. Wausau's Ginseng Fest, Warren's Cranberry Fest, Bayfield Apple Fest, Milwaukee Film Fest. Whew. There's a whole lot of fall fun to be had in Wisconsin. Find more events at TravelWisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. That mission extends beyond their customers and communities to their employees. Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 15 years in a row. In fact, they were named the #1 midsize employer in the region and earned special recognition for the company's overall direction. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
Checking in with Debbie here at 624.
Okay, now I've got a little bit of clarification of what's going on Brewers Boulevard. Northbound 175 is closed right at National Avenue because of this crash. The southbound side has the 3 left lanes blocked at National because of this crash. So, right around that area, obviously, it's going to be tough to get through. So please be extra careful if you're going to be heading through there. Or maybe avoid it. That would be even better. Westbound on 894, got some backups from 35th Street out to 68th. The rest of the system is actually looking pretty good. I mean, volume's relatively light. No other incidents are up on the board. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny and warm today with a high of 88 degrees. Same kind of deal tomorrow. And then we cool off a bit. High temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All days, mostly sunny skies. 625 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
A record-setting night during television's biggest night, the Emmys. Shogun, FX's remake of the 16th century feudal Japan drama, had 18 Emmys in its first season. So that's the most Emmys ever in a single year for any show. It's also the first non-English language show to win Best Drama. So it had a good night.
So people are watching this with subtitles and stuff?
Yeah.
Like it's super popular.
Mm-hmm. Should give it a shot. Your kid would like it, I bet.
FX?
FX is
Do I need an app for that, or I can watch that?
You can do it on Hulu, too.
Yeah, Hulu's got it. So, yeah, give it a shot. So that was the big
How
winner.
old did that sound?
Do I need one of these apps for that? Is that on the streaming?
So as far as best comedy goes, the Max series Hacks would win for its third season, beating The Bear, which is a huge show. Everyone
like
loves
that
The
one.
Bear. And what people don't understand about The Bear is why it was even up for this category, because it's not really a comedy show. And the Levies made a joke about that.
Now, some of you might be expecting us to make a joke about whether The Bear is really a comedy. But in the true spirit of The Bear, we will not be making any jokes.
See, you get it? I see what you did there.
So Happy Days was celebrated. Ron Howard and Henry Winkler, you heard him out there walking out into the diner.
I have a solution.
What?
Well, you know.
He wanted him to
You can
sing
do it.
the theme
No,
song.
come on.
First of all, I'm out of practice. And second of all, it takes schooling and, you know.
Well, you went to the Yale School of Drama, Henry. Come on, you know
Sitting in the
you can do
diner
it.
on the stage. So what does Winkler the Fonz do? Well, he strolls over to the jukebox and does what he does. Hits it like he always has. And there you go. Then he started acting like Fonz again. So that was your Happy Days moment as they looked back at 50 years. They talked a lot about political stuff, kind of, because don't forget what had happened earlier in the day yesterday with the whole Donald Trump stuff. So we did hear a little bit of this.
Keep believing and vote. Vote for your rights.
But what we didn't hear is a lot of anti-presidential stuff, meaning there wasn't any like real major criticism of the former president. I think probably in part because of what had happened earlier in the day. Jon Stewart, who won an Emmy for The Daily Show, was asked about it afterward.
We live in a horrible moment where emotions, and I think the one rule maybe we could all benefit from in terms of engagement is no shooting.
Yeah, maybe that would help.
Can we all
a little
agree
bit.
on that one?
We'll end with this, though. It's been 25 years since The West Wing. So a portion of the cast came out, and Martin Sheen looks the same. President Bartlett, was that who he
Bartlett.
was?
There you go.
Fascinating little commentary here.
It's hard to believe that just 25 years ago, Aaron and the writers actually had to use their imaginations to create interesting plot lines for The West Wing.
Unlike today, where storylines can be plucked right off the news, storylines that writers would have deemed a bit far-fetched, if not utterly ridiculous 25 years ago.
And now that's the real stuff.
All right, that's an interesting take.
So yeah, all in all, a long night. I didn't watch the entire thing, but I was entertained by it.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average ended the week up almost 300 points to 41,394. The Nasdaq closed at 17,684. That was up 114 points. And the S&P 500 up 30 to 5626. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
We've found that the high road is worth the climb, and it's less crowded. At Semperfi, everything we do is done to the best of our ability. There are no shortcuts. It's pretty simple. We do what we say we're going to do because we fully understand that a reputation is never given. It's always earned. It is in our nature to keep our values intact so that when we leave your job, you'll be right there to shake our hand with satisfaction. We've installed massive flat roofs and shingled huge churches, schools, and all kinds of homes from modest to extravagant, all with integrity and pride in our work. And we're going to keep doing it for generations to come. That's what Always Faithful means to us. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi.
Wisconsin, it's game time. Heiser's touchdown savings are here, and these deals are a total crowd pleaser. Score big with Heiser's 5-star lineup. We have Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Cadillac, and Lincoln. Plus, our service centers and body shops are ready to keep your ride playing at MVP level. With our exclusive Safe and Sound program, you'll hit the road with peace of mind, prepped for all of your fall adventures. So don't drop the ball on these deals. Visit Heiser.com today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
When I finished law school, my grandpa was long retired from working in the Rapids paper mill.
Dan Krause, Army veteran and owner of Krause Estate Planning in Brookfield.
Grandma and Grandpa asked me to help them get their wills set up. This was my first experience helping people with estate planning. I loved it. I loved helping my grandparents with this. Now, 25 years later, essentially that's all we do. We help people with wills, trusts, and asset protection.
Shore up your estate plan with Krause Estate Planning in Brookfield.
This week's home improvement experts are senior real estate specialists Bruce and Jean Nemovitz from Bruce's team.
At 6:31, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, September 16th, our top story, analyzing the response to an apparent assassination attempt.
I'm Erik. Bilstad, a terrifying tumble off an overpass.
I'm Debbie Laza. Guide. Stay away from Brewers Boulevard around National Avenue at this point. We've got closures and an accident. Here tell that it was involving a motorcyclist. So you want to be extra careful and try and stay away from that. Northbound 175 or Brewers Boulevard closed at National Avenue. Southbound is got the 3 left lanes closed because of this crash. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today, mostly sunny and a high of 83 at the lake, 88 inland. Mostly clear tonight, low down to 63. Right now, Milwaukee temp at 64. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, former President Trump due back on the campaign trail tomorrow. He's still planning to hold a town hall in Michigan after an incident at a Florida golf course where someone is accused of trying to assassinate him the second time in a matter of months. ABC's Christiane Cordero.
Democratic and Republican members of the task force investigating the shooting have already requested a briefing from the Secret Service on yesterday's incident. There are now bipartisan calls to have Trump's security match that of Biden's. One Democratic representative saying anything less than maximum protection is a self-inflicted wound that puts our nation's stability at grave risk.
ABC's Josh Margolin tells Wisconsin's Morning News just moments ago that the Secret Service is continuing to analyze whether or not their response was a success or a failure.
We know that it was a failure in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th, but yesterday there's some view that this was a success. That's why there are redundancies. Obviously, the Secret Service would prefer somebody to never leave a security bubble, but that's not possible, especially for a candidate, especially 50 days out from an election.
Again, the former president next scheduled to be in a Flint, Michigan town hall tomorrow.
A woman seriously injured but in stable condition after she was thrown from her motorcycle, fell off an overpass in Wauwatosa. This happened Sunday afternoon. Police said the single vehicle crash happened at the intersection of Highway 45 and Capitol Drive. The motorcyclist crashed on the mid-level of the rising intersection, then fell onto the westbound lanes of Lower Capitol Drive. Surveillance images show the drop may have been about 15 to 20 feet.
No Jordan Love, no problem for the Green Bay Packers. Behind quarterback Malik Willis and a defense that only allowed one touchdown, the Packers earn a 16-10 win in the home opener at Lambeau.
Willis was highly efficient in his first start as a Packer, completing 12 of 14 passes for 122 yards and a touchdown. Hat tip to the running attack that churned out 261 yards on the ground.
Almost 250 yards in the first half. That's insane.
Leaning on the offensive line, all part of Matt LaFleur's game plan throughout the week.
And I challenged him the other day, and we had a shaky day of practice, I think on Wednesday, and went in there and said, hey, we're winning this game through you guys. And, I thought they stepped up.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Up next, the Titans in Nashville.
Coming up, is the proposed ban on TikTok unconstitutional? That story next, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 6:35.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from Three Pillars resident Doris.
I came to visit and it just felt very comfortable. It's a large campus. There's a lot of green areas. There's lots of trails that are going through it that you can walk. You can use your walker or rollie on it. They bought a bunch of trikes and I want to try one of those 3-wheelers and get it out on one of those walking paths. And for me, it's home with wonderful people.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Annex Wealth Management, investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
Brewers could clinch a division crown this week as they return home. We've got the Phillies up next. Sports at 6:45.
In Washington today, a 3-judge federal appeals court panel will hear challenges from TikTok and a group of content creators to a U.S. law which would give the platform's China-based parent company ByteDance until January to sell it or face a ban in the U.S. Remember that this was passed by Congress and signed by the president earlier this year. Now, while American lawmakers have raised hypothetical security concerns regarding user privacy, rights groups like the ACLU point out that there is no available evidence that ByteDance has given U.S. user data to the Chinese government, saying TikTok is being unfairly singled out over American social media platforms because of anti-China sentiment. A little bit more from Thane Rosenbaum of CBS.
The Justice Department and the FTC believe that the data that TikTok gathers from Americans are too easily accessible to Chinese leaders.
Yeah, they don't like how that could be used. More than 170 million TikTok users. It's one of the biggest players in social media right now. And today, they're hoping to move forward with a decision sooner than later. Both the DOJ and the Chinese owners are saying, hey, can we have a decision made so we can move this up to the Supreme Court if we have to before?
Right.
Because the ban would go into effect in January.
It's interesting. Whether or not you agree that TikTok ought to be banned is an independent question of whether or not it's legal to do so. Right? I mean, like the outcome that you desire is different than the question as to whether or not it's allowed to be done. And that's what this really gets at the core of. Not like, do you like TikTok or don't you? It's a matter of legality, and these things are complicated. And to your point, regardless of what they decide here, it's got another step to go.
They're going to push it up
right?
to the U.S. Supreme Court, sure.
6:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Luther Gray is Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales at the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. Luther, tell us about the orchestra's mission.
We provide over 135 shows a year, classical concerts, pop concerts, family and educational concerts, and also we do many performances throughout the state as well.
And James Imaging Systems provides their expertise to support the symphony.
Yes, James Imaging is there. It makes it so much easier for us, and they help keep us on schedule.
Luther, it seems that with captivating audiences with acclaimed musical performances, many would like an opportunity to get involved.
That is correct. Attending the concerts is great, giving is great, but the volunteerism is wonderful as well. We need all of that to be a successful, thriving orchestra.
What's the first step people can take to ensure that long-term success?
They can go to our website at mso.org.
That's mso.org. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
We're almost there, almost to the fall. Is it almost time for you to check out a new vehicle? Hi, everybody. Debbie Lazaga here for Hall Volkswagen in Brookfield. And if you are feeling that tug of checking out a new vehicle, maybe for a fresh start or maybe the reality of needing a new ride, Hall has the full 2024 lineup from Volkswagen. They're proud to offer the signature IQ Drive, giving you peace of mind while you do all the things, taking the kids to their stuff, running errands, maybe sneaking one last hurrah road trip for the summer. Along with this, you get 5 years of the cool CarNet safe and secure services. That's the thing where you can lock your car, you can remember where you parked it, and even remotely start it using the MyVW app on your phone. So slick. Experience the change of seasons in a new 2024 VW from Hall Volkswagen in Brookfield, where you'll see that it's all good.
Feeling bullied by your bank?
It's not a hidden fee, it's a surprise fee. Surprise!
Like they're just making things harder.
That's not my department. I got a transfer.
Or like they don't even know you?
That sounds like a you problem.
At Wintrust, we take a different approach. Whether you need banking solutions, a new home, or help planning your financial future, we've got local experts ready to lend a hand.
Wintrust.
Start banking where you matter at wintrust.com/bully-free. Wintrust. Different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp. Inc. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. Unfortunately, it's not too early to start thinking about those upcoming heating bills. At Hometown's huge New Berlin showroom, you can compare energy-efficient windows from Anderson, Pella, Marvin, and more. Like me, you'll get a dedicated project consultant to guide you to the products that best fit your home, style, and budget, along with employee carpenters who respect your home. Do what I did. Contact Hometown Windows and Doors today. Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. 414-329-1200 or online at hometownwindows.com.
Delicious boneless, skinless chicken breasts are on sale this week at Sendix for just $3.99 per pound. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. What's happening, Deb?
Well, trouble continues on Miller Parkway or Brewers Boulevard, depending on where you are, right at National Avenue. Pretty much east and westbound on National Avenue closed right now. Northbound on Brewers Boulevard at National Avenue is also closed. And then we've got the southbound side. 3 left lanes are blocked because of this crash. I heard tell that it was involving motorcycle. So you just want to try and stay away from that intersection altogether. That'll probably help you out a little bit. Westbound on 894, backing up out of the Mitchell Interchange all the way to about 68th Street. The rest of the system just starting to build up a little bit in volume. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Some areas of patchy fog this morning, then hot and dry for this afternoon. High temperatures in the lower 80s by the lake, upper 80s inland with plenty of sunshine. Tonight, mostly clear skies, temperatures falling into the lower 60s. Tuesday, more sunshine throughout the day. High temperatures in the lower 80s by the lake, upper 80s once again further inland. Wednesday, temperatures drop just a bit, upper 70s to low 80s for highs, plenty of sunshine. Thursday, high temperatures near 80 once again with mostly sunny skies, and staying dry for Friday with high temperatures in the lower 80s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 64 degrees. On this Monday morning, still a lot we don't know this morning about the death of Elijah Vu, toddler who went missing in Manitowoc County back in February. His remains discovered a little over a week ago and now confirmed by authorities that it was indeed Elijah. They did that late Friday afternoon.
This is not the outcome that we hoped for.
The family's devastated, we're devastated, our community's devastated. I never met Elijah, but I watched that 3-year-old boy bring out the best in this community.
So that's a police chief there in Two Rivers, Chief Ben Minert, making that announcement, bringing it up today for a couple of reasons. He, first of all, didn't want it to get lost in the late Friday, right?
Right, yep, and which can happen.
We had learned that there was going to be a news conference early Friday, and then, folks go about their business and maybe lose track of things. So this was the outcome of that big announcement. And then also, important to know that Elijah Vu's not still out there somewhere, so there is that for the family. And important to know that he'll be able to be laid to rest now. But in terms of what happens next in holding people responsible for his death, that is still a wide open question this morning. This may help, but it may not.
We may never know.
Right? Because the only 2 people arrested in this case do remain behind bars, but neither charged in connection even with Elijah Vu's disappearance, much less his death. I'll update them in a minute, but on that point, authorities right now have not released a cause of death, even if they're able to determine one. So that will require more forensic analysis. Mm-hmm. And it is possible, I suppose, right, that little Elijah Vu did in fact wander away from his home and end up there on his own. It's about 3 miles from where he was last seen to where his remains were discovered. Elijah's mother, Katrina Bauer, and her boyfriend, Jesse Vang, he was the last person known to have seen Vu alive, last person known to be caring for him at the time. They are both charged with various things, including child neglect, but so far they have not been charged with anything related to Elijah's disappearance. And it's unclear right now whether the discovery of these remains and whatever authorities can learn about them will further tie them in any way with direct evidence.
What evidence could be uncovered potentially?
Right. There could be some, but we don't know, and we don't know what that will be. And absent that, then you just have her not talking, him not talking. And what else do you have? It's possible it just ends this way. Vang is next scheduled to be in court later this month. Bauer in October. Both do remain in custody. 6:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Cornerstone Development. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Tri-County Contracting. It's time for a new roof. You know it now. You're like, yep, it's time. I'm going to budget for this. We're going to get the brand new roof. Now what? You're just going to Google something, new roof? What are you going to find? Who are you going to find to do it? Who can you trust to do it? Well, I got the place for you. Tri-County Contracting. The website, TriCountyContracting.wi.com. They've been replacing roofs like yours for more than 40 years in Southeast Wisconsin. Family-owned, locally owned, and locally operated, which is a unicorn these days. These guys do it. TriCountyContracting.wi.com. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. TriCountyContracting.wi.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
The countdown is on. Now it's for real. Yes, the buzz is back. Now, the Brewers may have lost on Sunday, but it is a fairly successful weekend. The Cubs keep scuffling around. The Brewers are able to take 2 of 3 from the Diamondbacks. So right now, what does that mean as far as clinching the NL Central? The magic number is 3. 3. So could happen this week. Could happen as soon as tomorrow.
Right, because if the Brewers win tonight and the Cubs lose, there's 2.
Yeah, and then
you get 2 tomorrow. So it can't be today, but it could be tomorrow.
Yeah, so things are looking good for the Crew. It just wasn't their day yesterday. They could have won that game. They were down 5-0, then they scored 8 unanswered. They were up. It went into extras. Jackson Cherio did everything in his power to win that game for him.
First and second, 2 out. First pitch, ground ball, right side, base hit. Inside the bag at first and into the right field corner. Scoring is Ortiz. Right behind him, scoring is Terang. Relay to third is not in time. 2-run triple. Jackson Chorio delivers.
They also had a 3-run bomb earlier in the game, so that made it 10-8 in the top of the 10th, but they would go on to lose in the bottom half 11-10.
That pitcher of theirs was throwing 103 miles an hour. 103. And like consistently, 101, 99, 102, 103.
Oh, hey, you can sit on that fastball, baby.
I guess, right?
Live in stereo. Hey, so what happened was in the bottom half, they didn't use Devin Williams. They maybe could have for one batter. That's what Pat Murphy said afterwards.
I wanted him to be available for a short period, if at all. So if we got to that 2-out period, I would have brought him in.
You just got to be careful. You want to get greedy. You want to win every game, but you got to be careful on your arms, and that's what he was doing yesterday. So no Devin Williams, but now he should be good to go.
Okay.
Getting into a big series starting tonight at AmFam Field against the Phillies.
Question needed to be asked, but it was answered. Yeah. I agree with him then.
Okay.
Week 2, good, just so we're on record with that. That Vinny was
we'll tell him tomorrow.
Vinny was okay with that decision. Great. Week 2 in the NFL wraps up tonight with the Eagles hosting the Falcons on Monday Night Football. The Packers ran all over the Colts Sunday afternoon, and backup quarterback Malik Willis, good enough and then some.
Put it in the air this time. It is through there to Wicks and a touchdown. Willis threads it through for his first NFL strike and a touchdown.
Fox Sports on the call. The score to Dontavian Wicks, the lone touchdown of the game for the Packers. How you feel about things, Mr. Willis?
I wouldn't say I'm proud. I'm more blessed than anything. I'm just grateful for God giving me another opportunity somewhere different, a clean slate, and just giving me the opportunity to be around guys who helped me get going in this past 3 weeks as far as just learning as much as I can.
And just enough as the Packers win 16-10. Nice performance overall by the defense. Couple of picks there.
Yeah.
Was head coach, you want to talk about coaching decisions, right? Decisions that coaches or managers make. Was head coach Matt LaFleur careful with his quarterback and play calling? Yes. A lot of fans unhappy. Even at the stadium, you could hear the boos coming out as LaFleur basically ran out the clock at the end of the first half instead of trying to go for a drive and another score.
Call that conservative. I call that being smart. The guy had we had 3 timeouts, or they had 3 timeouts. I mean, like I said, Malik has been here for 3 weeks. To put him in a 2-minute situation at the end of the half when you're up 10-0, I would call that reckless.
All right.
That was an amazing game he coached yesterday. One of his best, I would say.
And it's all good when it works.
Yep.
And ultimately that was enough, and the final score bore it out. Like, let's not be reckless, as Coach said. Let's not put our guy in a position where he thinks he needs to make a play. You give up a pick six, and all the momentum is gone, and now they've scored and all that other stuff. So Packers will travel next to Tennessee to face the Titans on Sunday, and quickly elsewhere in the NFC North. Lions and Bears both lost, but the Vikings beat the 49ers, so they are atop the division at 2-0.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's early yet, as we say. 6:51.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
I'm Kamala Harris. Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. And I believe we can make that happen.
Kamala Harris's plan? Bring down costs by cracking down on corporate price gougers. Make homeownership more affordable for families. A middle-class tax cut for 100 million Americans. And make sure billionaires and big corporations pay their fair share so you can keep more of the money you've earned.
Instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future and how we make it better for families like yours. I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
Save big money on your next outdoor project at Menards. Menards has the best in-stock selection of AC2 pressure-treated lumber. Our huge inventory of decking, fencing, lumber, and timbers are all easy to load in our drive-through lumber yard. Plus, you can get free estimates fast with our fence and deck design programs in-store or online at menards.com. Don't forget to check out our weekly flyer for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
The Fox and Hound Supper Club in Hubertus is hiring servers, bussers, food runners, expo and barbacks, and cleaners. Make real money. It's perfect for high school and college students, parents, and grandparents. Tell your kids and start next week. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
At 6:53, let's check in with Debbie here on the Morning Drive.
All right, we still have this issue on Brewers Boulevard at National Avenue. Just to avoid that intersection altogether, you can travel southbound from the stadium interchange, but the 3 left lanes are closed. You only really have 1 lane of traffic to get through there. But that whole intersection, the rest of the directions, east and west and northbound, all closed right now because of the crash. We've got westbound 94 backing up from before 25th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's getting heavier as well from 84th Street to Hawley Road. Westbound 894 is backed up a bit from 27th Street all the way to 68th. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Forecast sponsored by Daydream Camps Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Dry. That's basically the forecast.
Right, end of story.
Sunny, a high of 88.
Not a drop.
Nothing all through the week. So a high of 88 today, tonight a low of 63, Tuesday 87, Wednesday 79, Thursday 80, Friday 81. Right now it's 64 at 6:55.
6:55 on Wisconsin's Morning News. This morning, the mural on the near north side of downtown on a building with a giant swastika intertwined with the Star of David, which means to compare the ongoing war in Gaza with Nazism, or sort of actually reverse Nazism, if you will. It's boarded up, as it's twice now been vandalized since it went up late last week. The building owner is a Palestinian American who's not budging nor apologizing. Dueling statements from the Milwaukee Common Council on the mural urging him to remove it. Interesting thing at play here, in addition to what continues to be the ongoing story of this mural. Milwaukee Common Council has 15 members. 14 of them signed on to a letter of condemnation. They noted the vandalism and said this: while calling on all to respect private property and First Amendment rights, it is also important to call out those who import symbols of division, hatred, and violence to our community and then act surprised when they are not welcomed with open arms. So they condemned the mural. They've asked the building owner to take it down. They're not forcing it, but they've asked him to do that. Pretty strong, I thought, unequivocal statement. What about number 15, though?
The alderman who wasn't on that list?
Alderman Lamont Westmoreland, who's shown a real willingness to do things kind of his own way and think independently, put out his own statement shortly thereafter, also condemning. But this is what he said: while I was not on the earlier joint statement issued by 14 of my colleagues, why not? I'll never serve as a rubber stamp for the words of others. The statement went through multiple revisions by several council members, removing things they didn't like and adding what they thought was missing. My attempt to have input was disregarded. So that explains why he didn't want to sign on to that statement. He did his own thing.
Okay.
Actually, his statement, similar to the other, really, condemns the use of the swastika, urges the building owner to take down the mural. Wasn't actually that different. He just seemed to be bothered by the process.
Yeah, doesn't like, well,
Right.
okay, good for
Fine.
you. That's fine.
I did disagree with the alderman on this point, that the building owner putting up the mural, this is what he said about him. While I don't believe the intention was to upset or offend, it has done just that. Well, of course it was. You don't use a swastika without intending both to upset and offend,
I
right?
say that's not going to, it's clearly going to offend someone.
Yes, that was absolutely the intention here. The intention was to upset and offend. It's why the guy's got multiple cameras out there to capture exactly what he anticipated was going to happen. The thing was vandalized multiple times. Regardless, I mean, it was intended to upset and offend, and it has done exactly that. What happens from here on out? I mean, whether you believe that it's protected speech, or do you think the city could somehow enforce like a disorderly conduct violation? You could maybe go down that slippery slope from a legal standpoint, but that gets dicey. It's private property. It's this person's voice. But it's a hate symbol. It's a known hate symbol.
Correct.
It's inciting other people to do things. So maybe you could go down that way. It doesn't seem like at this point the city is doing that. They're just asking the guy to take it down. And he's now apparently saying he's not going to take it down until he gets an apology from the Common Council for ripping on him.
Oh, come on.
I don't think that's forthcoming either. So this is where we're at with that. Right now, the mural is pretty much boarded up, so you can't see most of it. 6:58 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Roles in management, IT, engineering, and security are among the jobs expected when the first phase of Microsoft's $3.3 billion data center opens in Mount Pleasant by 2026. The first phase is expected to bring around 200 data center jobs, with around 2,000 expected over time. A new bar and dance club called 90s 2K Cafe is now open in downtown Milwaukee. The nostalgia-themed bar is on North Dr. Martin Luther King Drive, in the space that formerly housed the Howl at the Moon live music bar. A new private terminal is coming to Waukesha County Airport. It's being built by a Milwaukee company called Jet Out, which provides private aviation services and offers the opportunity to co-own aircraft. Construction is expected to be completed in the first half of 2025. I'm Teddy Nykel with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Happy September! WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress. My wife wants to redo the living room. I'm told that means new furniture. I'm not sure what we're going to get, but I do know we're going to Built Right. Built Right's Labor Day sale extended through Saturday. It's all about your comfort, your style, your home at Built Right. 4 generations, 96 years strong. Built Right always saves you money. The 3rd and 4th generation family members, they're working at the store along with their experienced team. Be ready for your holiday guests with thousands of items in stock, plus 500 mattresses. And custom orders are faster. Built Right has affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses for everyone, from petite to plus size. USA made, small scale, Amish made, real solid wood furniture. Over 55 models of power lift recliners in stock. Free in-store design services. Built Right voted best place to shop. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, they're closed to be with family. Tell them Vinny sent you to locally and family-owned Built Right, 5430 West Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Wisconsin, it's game time. Heiser's touchdown savings are here, and these deals are a total crowd pleaser. Score big with Heiser's 5-star lineup. We have Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Cadillac, and Lincoln. Plus, our service centers and body shops are ready to keep your ride playing at MVP level. With our exclusive Safe and Sound program, you'll hit the road with peace of mind, prepped for all of your fall adventures. So don't drop the ball on these deals. Visit Heiser.com today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
That is a creepy tub. And the shower tile? The 1970s called. They want their avocado green tile back where it should stay. Forever in the 70s. This October, Sidex Windows, Siding, and Baths is hosting another creepiest tub or shower contest. The winner gets a new complete tub or shower conversion installed by Sidex at no cost, up to a $10,000 value. Keep listening to learn how you can win with a picture of your creepiest tub or shower. Must live in Wisconsin within 50 miles of Milwaukee.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
A couple minutes after 7, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News for Monday, September 16th. Our top story, more scrutiny levied against the Secret Service.
I'm Erik Bilstad, loveless in Green Bay, and that's okay.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and still seeing some problems at National Avenue and Brewers Boulevard. Looks like it was a deadly accident there. So that whole area is going to be all gummed up. Southbound, you can travel through, but only one lane is open. All the other directions are going to be blocked off, so maybe avoid that area. At this point, westbound 94 is going to be a bit heavy from about 25th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound is heavy from about 84th all the way to 68th. And westbound 894 is still heavy from 27th Street all the way to 68th. 68th Street. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today and a high of 88 degrees. Bit cooler near Lake Michigan. And mostly clear tonight with a low down to 63. Right now it's 64 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, U.S. Secret Service facing scrutiny again following a second apparent assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. It was at a golf course in Florida Sunday. Former Secret Service agent Michael Matrenga says the security perimeter is bigger for sitting presidents.
That entire golf course would have been shut down. And then all of those wood lines would have been swept, not only prior to, but as the president was moving along, not only on foot, but also with dogs, along with counter surveillance unit.
ABC's Josh Margolin telling Wisconsin's Morning News the Secret Service still analyzing whether the response Sunday was a failure or a success.
We know that it was a failure in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th, but yesterday there's some view that this was a success. That's why there are redundancies. Obviously, the Secret Service would prefer somebody to never leave a security bubble, but that's not possible, especially for a candidate, especially 50 days out from an election.
Former President Trump is next scheduled to appear at a town hall event in Flint, Michigan tomorrow.
Here at home, installed, vandalized, cleaned up, then vandalized again, all within just a few days.
That's a summary of what's happened so far to a controversial new mural in Milwaukee near Holton and Locust depicting a swastika inside the Star of David. The Milwaukee Common Council has condemned the mural, calling it, quote, hurtful and divisive and requesting the property owner take it down. The building's owner, Ihsan Atta, telling TMJ4 News.
So the message intended is to bring awareness of the genocide that's taking place in Palestine.
Atta says he would only remove the mural if the Common Council apologizes for its statement and condemns the genocide in Gaza. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Southeast Wisconsin dealing with a very dry weather pattern. Doesn't appear it's going to end anytime soon. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore predicting any rain in the Great Plains will stay well west of our region.
The next 5 days, those systems, again, hold off to our west. So Twin Cities, maybe out towards Eau Claire, La Crosse, seeing some rain chances. But once you get towards the eastern half of the state, we stay dry through the work week over the next several days.
Complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up at 7:10.
A great day in Green Bay. The Packers improved to 1-1 following a 16-10 win over the Indianapolis Colts at Lambeau Field. With Jordan Love on the sidelines and sweats, backup quarterback Malik Willis commanded the offense like he'd been doing it for years. Not just a couple of weeks.
Malik Willis arrived in Green Bay August 26th, having never won a game or completed a touchdown pass in 3 career starts.
And the last opportunity I got to start a game was my rookie year. You know, I wasn't where I wanted to be as far as the offense went or playing NFL football, you know, as a rookie.
On Sunday, Willis completed 12 of 14 passes for 122 yards and a touchdown, impressing head coach Matt LaFleur.
There was a lot put on his plate, and for him to be able to go out there and do what he did today, I think that speaks volumes of who he is as a person and the work that he's put in.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Up next for the Packers, they head to Nashville and take on the Titans in Week 3.
Coming up, a concert for a cause miles above Earth. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:06.
This report is sponsored by Connect Chiropractic, connecting you to true health. Located in Wauwatosa and Delafield.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Add a chiropractic screening to your kid's back-to-school checklist. Reed came to Connect Chiro at just 9 years old. Sleep issues, headaches, getting sick all the time. I talked with his mom. He's now getting better sleep, better attendance at school, better health since she put her son in the care of Dr. Alex Young and his team. Great for kids because these docs use a special tool for all the adjustments. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. In Delafield and Wauwatosa, go Connect Chiro. That's goconnectchiro.com.
Hey, Wisconsin, Jim Bob Morse here. Get ready to break out the Bandito with El Bandito Yankee, the official tequila of game day. 100% blue Weber agave, award-winning, all-natural, additive-free, and the smoothest tequila Milwaukee, Madison, and Titletown has ever tasted. Get yours today at La Pina on 3rd Street or your favorite local store. Remember, you always win with the undefeated flavor of El Bandito Yankee tequila. And for events, recipes, and places for purchase, go to elbanditoyankee.com.
Adrian was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices One call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
Getting 10% back is easy at Fleet Farm. For a limited time only, Fleet Rewards members can earn 10% back in-store and online. Spend $50, get $5 back in rewards. No rebates, no coupons, no hassles. Plus, Fleet Rewards membership is free. So if you're not signed up yet, now's the time. Then get shopping to earn 10% back on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm. Some exclusions apply. Not valid at Ankeny and Waukee, Iowa stores.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:08.
Should we bring up the vomit on the football again? Do you want to know that story again?
It did happen.
It did happen.
The coach did speak on it.
Okay, we'll do it in sports at 7:15.
The Bucks have a new partial owner. The Milwaukee Business Journal's Rich Kirchen tells WTMJ about the big investment from Junior Bridgman.
He had talked some years back with the Bucks. I think it was when Herb Cole was the owner, about taking an ownership stake. Nothing ever happened, but now the word is that he is going to invest in the Bucks, get about a 10% share in the team.
Bridgman played 10 seasons with the Bucks in the 70s and 80s and has his number retired.
Milwaukee's set to open its doors again.
155 buildings are participating in Doors Open Milwaukee this year. Historic Milwaukee Inc. Events Director Grace Furr tells WTMJ new participants include Davidson Park at Harley-Davidson's corporate headquarters and the new Baird Center expansion.
Wisconsin art on display all over. And then from the top story of the tower, you can go outside on their beautiful rooftop terrace, and it has epic views.
And if you can't get enough of skyline views,
the Hyatt View is participating this year, the old Polaris. The new Huron building is going to be open.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A concert for a cause high above Earth.
Before the Polaris Dawn flight cruise splashed down off the coast of Florida, SpaceX engineer Sarah Gill serenaded her 3 fellow crew members with a violin. She played Rex's theme, John Williams' score from Star Wars The Force Awakens. Footage shows Gills floating inside the Dragon capsule as she plays, her hair standing up in the weightlessness of space. The music synced up with orchestras from around the world in a partnership with St. Jude's Children's Hospital and El Sistema. Deborah Rodriguez, cool. CBS News.
Polaris Dawn crew, by the way, returned to Earth on Sunday. This after 2 astronauts staged the first ever private spacewalk.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:10.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Making a move from the home you have loved and cherished for so many years can not only be a challenge for you, but can also be stressful for the entire family. This is Jean Nemelvitz from Bruce's team. Let us help you start the conversation, so when the time is right, we can make the process simple and easy, just as we've done for thousands of families. Let us take you from overwhelmed to I can do this. Call 262-242-6177 or visit brucesteam.com.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Rejuvenix. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Let's check in on the morning drive here, Debbie.
All right, it is a tough ride. Try and avoid the National and Brewers Boulevard intersection. Very nasty accident happened through there. Looks like it was a deadly accident, so you want to try and stay away from there. Although you can go through southbound on Brewers Boulevard, but only 1 lane is open. 3 left lanes are blocked. So just try and avoid it. It'll probably save you some time. Outside of that, we've got delays on westbound 94 out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound slowing down from 92nd Street all the way to Hawley Road. And the westbound 894 still a bit heavy heading through the construction zone just west of 27th Street all the way to 68th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sunshine and dry weather for most of this week. High temperatures today looking warm. Lower 80s by the lake, but upper 80s inland on this Monday. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Temperatures falling into the 60s for Tuesday. Mostly sunny skies. High temperatures in the 80s. Lower 80s by the lake, upper 80s inland. Wednesday, more sunshine. High temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. Thursday, highs right around 80 with plenty of sunshine. And staying dry on Friday with high temperatures in the lower 80s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore. The Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 63 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
At 7:13 this morning, calls for still greater increases in the security details surrounding former President Donald Trump following what the FBI believes was a second attempt on his life. The guy they got, 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Routh, arrested after the Secret Service said they fired shots at him at a Florida golf course where Trump was playing. One agent said to have spotted the barrel of a long gun emerging from some shrubs nearby the president. They later recovered an AR-15 with a long-range scope and arrested Routh after he took off.
That's crazy. So they were in the hole in front of the president, checking out that hole and checking out the perimeter of the golf course, and one of the agents was able to spot his barrel. That's incredible.
And to the question that was asked earlier, was this a Secret Service success or a failure? I guess, right? They went the hole ahead. They saw something they didn't like. They engaged the guy. They prevented him from killing the president or former president. So, Secret Service success? How did the guy get that close?
Right, that's
I guess
the question.
there
right.
is that to be answered today. The former president is still planning to campaign in Michigan tomorrow.
Democratic and Republican members of the task force investigating the shooting have already requested a briefing from the Secret Service on yesterday's incident. There are now bipartisan calls to have Trump's security match that of Biden's. One Democratic representative saying anything less than maximum protection is a self-inflicted wound that puts our nation's stability at grave risk.
It's ABC's Christiane Cordero. To that point, right, that's a Democrat who said we got to bump up the security because look, any reasonable person knows and understands whether or not you like former President Trump or whether or not you hope he's reelected, having him assassinated would be terrible for the country.
Oh, my gosh. Can't even fathom.
What would you even do with the election?
I would assume J.D. Vance would be at the top of the ticket, wouldn't he?
I don't know. Like, is there a... I mean, he's the vice presidential nominee. He's not more than that at this point. Would Republicans want to go back and try to renominate someone? Would there be a process? Would there be calls to delay the election? Boy,
no way.
How tough that gets constitutionally, right? So, yeah, regardless of your feelings on the former president, losing him in that way would be a terrible thing for the country. And pretty much everyone seems to recognize and understand that. What more do we know about the suspect and his motive?
Police have not released a motive, but investigators are exploring whether the suspect was upset by Trump's position on Ukraine. Records show 58-year-old Routh lived in North Carolina for most of his life before moving to Hawaii in 2018. This would mark the second assassination attempt on Trump's life in the last 9 weeks.
So that is ABC's Lionel Moyes reporting on that. At least there's this. I mean, unlike the previous attempt, this guy's alive. So maybe they get something out of him in terms of motive. I guess it doesn't really matter.
No, but it's great to be able to hear what, if we can get into his head a little bit.
Right. Understand what was going on there. So much more to learn on that. And again, the former president expected to maintain his campaign schedule. He's supposed to be in Michigan tomorrow. 7:16. Sports up next.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday's Save On, 6-count Mega Roll Angel Soft Bath Tissue, $6.99. 3 to 6 count or 14-ounce selected varieties Häagen-Dazs Ice Cream or Bars, $3.99. 8-count selected varieties Jimmy Dean Breakfast Sandwiches, $9.99. 13 to 15-ounce selected varieties Land O'Lakes Spreadable Butter, $3.49.
I am starving.
Oh, no. Never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against San Francisco November 24th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
I'm shopping at Century alone next time.
Enter by November 6th.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
It starts tonight at American Family Field. Brewers, Phillies. You're looking to get a higher seed in the playoffs. You're also looking to clinch the NL Central again. Yes, that's right. The Brewers buzz is back. Now, yes, I know they did fall to the Diamondbacks on Sunday afternoon. However, you'd argue it was a successful weekend. They won a couple of times, and the Cubs lost a few times. So now, where is our magic number? Pancake? 3. 3 is your magic number to clinch the NL Central, Brewers fans.
And so we're still chasing the Phillies, whom we play now,
well,
right? But we're pretty far behind them now.
We're 2 games behind the Dodgers for the 2 seed. So the Phils are the 1, Dodgers are the 2, and we're 2 games behind them. So you want to win the games no matter what. Right.
Win baseball games.
Meanwhile, the Cubs are playing the Oakland A's tonight at Wrigley Field.
All right, we've got Falcons and Eagles tonight in Philadelphia to finish out Week 2 in the NFL. The Packers, that feels a lot better.
He's got room. Josh Jacobs gallops 3. Biggest run in his short tenure with the Packers. Jacobs for 40 yards.
Fox Sports on the call. 40 of Jacobs' 151 rushing yards. Packers ran all over the Colts. Ran the ball 53 times. Head coach Matt LaFleur.
It's one thing to want to do that, but to be able to go out there and execute that, I think that says a lot about really just all 11 out there, starting with the offensive line, but our backs were running hard. Our receivers were blocking their butts off like they always do.
And the Colts knew we were going to do that.
Everyone knew they were going to run, and they still did it.
And still we did it. So Packers beat the Colts 16-10, the final. One other oddity from the world of football. I was going to just pass on it, but then if you pass on it, then people want to know how come you didn't talk about it, right? This is why you insisted that we.
I insisted.
This is. I'm putting this on you.
Very unique. What was that? Do I play it again?
That was actually from the game.
It was not.
Third down situation. LaFleur's called a pass play, but Malik Willis decides to keep it and basically would look like a quarterback draw.
Yeah.
LaFleur was confused, like, hey, that is not the play I called, and it didn't look like you audibled. Well, it turns out he did it because moments before the snap, the center, Josh Myers, puked on the football.
I asked Malik why he didn't throw the ball on that third down, and he told me that Josh threw up on the ball. I was like, that's the first time I've ever heard that.
I'm calling timeout. No, thank you.
It was like right before the snap, though, wasn't it?
You think he didn't have time to even do that?
Well, I don't think he didn't realize it had what it had on it until it was in his hands.
I hate that we have to break it down because it's so gross to think about, but I suppose.
I think this happens a lot, by the way. Maybe not in this fashion.
On the ball.
Right, but I think this happens
There's probably
quite
more
often.
puking than we notice, but not typically on the ball. Anyway, that's what that story is, since we had to know.
Speaking of puking, the Bears fall to the Texans on Sunday Night Football. Lions lose to the Buccaneers. The Vikings are now 2-0 after beating the Niners yesterday.
Jim never vomits at home.
Welcome to another episode of Analysis, man.
From Bucs superstar Giannis.
And then I'm going to Chris at the time. What did coach mean? What do you?
And even Green Bay QB Jordan Love. There's only one call for these conversations.
I've never been in a Lambo, and I have to, right? What is this Lambo league?
Tune in to the Thanalysis Show, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Find it today on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere you get podcasts.
Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, doing some grilling over the last week. In and out of the patio door. In and out, in and out. Set this, but you got stuff on the stove, right? That beautiful patio door, let me tell you something. I don't even use the screen in that situation because the door itself is so easy to move with just a finger. And I can't always find a kid to help me. Okay, can somebody get the door? Don't need you. Got that. I got a couple of plates and stuff. Here we go. I just roll it back.
All I need is a pinky.
That's right. Brings me joy every time I'm in and out of it. If you want to get in on a patio door or some replacement windows, maybe even a front entryway door, you know Pella manufactures all of their own products. They get tested thousands of times to make sure they will stand the test of time. And here's the deal right now. As low as $18 a window, $81 per patio door per month when you spread your payments out. That's $18 a window, $81 a month per patio door. Right now, you have that deal available to you until the end of September. So September 30th, last day to get in on it. Visit PellaWI.com today.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right. Enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
At 7:23, an update on the morning drive here, Debbie.
All right. Try and stay away from National and Brewers Boulevard. That intersection is kind of messed up right now. We do have an accident that's being worked on. It was a deadly accident. So try and avoid it if you can. The freeway system, westbound 94, seen delays from the Marquette pretty much all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's backed up basically from the zoo all the way to 35th Street. Westbound 894, a bit backed up from 27th Street all the way to 68th. And northbound 4394, we're seeing backups coming out of the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. Southbound 43 slowing down from before Hampton down to Capitol Drive. Be your eyes on the roads. Report accident slowdowns and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies through the work week. High temperatures in the upper 80s today and tomorrow. Upper 70s to low 80s Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Right now it's 63 in Milwaukee.
Happy Monday!
It's time to look at the week ahead.
What a Monday morning.
The week ahead on Wisconsin's Morning News. What's going to be in your timeline? What's in your news feed? What are you going to hear on the radio? What will you read in the paper? What will you see on television?
Why don't you just tell me what's going to be?
Let's just go into it. Today and into this week, political news to share. Tucker Carlson is in Milwaukee tonight. He's going to be at Fiserv Forum. J.D. Vance is in Eau Claire on Wednesday. And Kamala Harris returns to Wisconsin on Friday. Don't know where yet. Not sure if that'll be a Milwaukee hit or not for her.
Yeah, they've only said to Wisconsin.
And that's normal. We don't usually hear much about where they're coming until like the day before. TikTok facing a critical hearing in Washington today. The Chinese owner is fighting a law that would ban the app in the U.S.
U.S. officials say the app can be used as a Chinese propaganda tool, and user data can be handed over to the Chinese government. TikTok denies the allegations, calling the attempt to ban it a radical departure from this country's tradition of championing an open internet and sets a dangerous precedent.
ABC's Rand Alley there. So, yeah, they're going to have a hearing today before an appeals court. Their hope is they get a ruling by the first week in December so then they can run it up the chain to the Supreme Court. Later this week, the Federal Reserve will meet, as they always do. They'll play cornhole and then decide whether or not to drop the rate. It sounds like
I don't know that they do that.
It sounds like they're going to trim the interest rates maybe by a quarter point. That's what experts are expecting.
Be the first drop in interest rates in 4 years, right?
Thursday, WTMJ, we're hosting our big radiothon for the Lance Sidejohn Memorial. Sidejohn's the Medal of Honor recipient. His memorial is that replica plane, the one he flew. It's at the airport right now. John Mercure is raising money to help restore that memorial. So stay tuned on that big event taking place on Thursday. Plus, we got a great added layer to that story coming up next hour right here on the program. On Saturday, President Joe Biden welcomes the leaders of Australia, India, and Japan for the final Quad Summit of his term. So this is going to be just an event that they're going to have in his hometown. So he's going to bring the Quad Summit to Wilmington, Delaware. Go down there in the man cave. Have him down there.
Let me show you around. Take a look. I just got this flat screen.
Go ahead. No, sit in the car. Sit in the car. You'll love it. It's a convertible.
Take her out. Now you can't take it out.
So that's taking place over the weekend. The Brewers start a big series tonight at home. They're looking to clinch the NL Central at home this week. Enjoy that, Brewers fans. Another noon game for the Packers on Sunday. They play the Titans in Nashville. At the movies, more horror movies. The Substance stars Demi Moore as a fading celebrity who decides to use a black market drug to create a younger, better version of herself. And things don't go well.
They don't?
Also arriving Friday, Never Let Go. Halle Berry is the mother of twin sons that live in a remote cabin in the woods. And you can only imagine what would happen there. So yeah, scary movies return.
Too scary. News about your money this morning, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed at 41,394 points on Friday. The NASDAQ at 17,684, and the S&P 500 closed Friday at 5626. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. It's sponsored by the original knowledge broker, R&R Insurance. And joining us today is Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, I want to talk about employee benefits today. R&R Insurance provides those benefits for all of us here at Good Karma Brands. It's a great program. And companies, us here too, fast approaching open enrollment.
Thanks, Vince. Great to be here. Employee benefits are one of a company's largest expenses. Businesses need to know how to use their employee benefits program as a tool to attract and retain employees. A benefit understood is a benefit appreciated. This means it's critical to know how best to communicate your company's employee benefits program. The right message will help employees understand their option and guide their decision-making. It'll also increase their sense of value and engagement. Employees will be more inclined to participate and see it as a part of their total compensation program.
So looking at the current very competitive job market, Jeff, what impact do these employee benefit packages have on, say, a candidate's decision to sign with a company?
The impact is huge. Numerous studies indicate that in today's environment, new hires more frequently select the employer with the best overall employee benefits package.
So, Jeff, why R&R Insurance?
Vince, at R&R Insurance, we'll help employers brand their benefit packages in a customized, easy-to-understand fashion, taking out the complex and confusing nature of shopping for employee benefits insurance. More importantly, we'll manage and provide as much support as you need for your open enrollment process and beyond. With our latest mobile technology, your employees will have easy, immediate access to benefits information for themselves and their families 24/7.
Can confirm. That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff. More information at myknowledgeBroker.com.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Reaction from his November opponent to the apparent attempted on the life of Donald Trump Sunday at his Florida golf club.
Vice President Harris said in a statement she is, quote, deeply disturbed by the possible assassination attempt of former President Trump and said she is thankful he is safe. She condemned political violence and said, quote, we all must do our part to ensure that this incident does not lead to more violence. The vice president commended the Secret Service and law enforcement partners for what she called their vigilance. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
There are calls for even more security to surround Donald Trump even between now and the election. The Federal Reserve September meeting begins this week. When it concludes, a key interest rate is expected to have been lowered by at least a quarter, but perhaps as much as 0.5%. Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Tito Jackson, guitar player for the Jackson 5, died over the weekend. He was 70 years old, and his family says he had a heart attack. This is ABC News.
WTMJ News Time 7:31.
All right, we do have an accident that's still being worked on at National and Brewers Boulevard. Try and stay away from that intersection altogether. We've got major closures, and it's going to be a pretty messed up area at this point, so be careful. Westbound on 94, backing up out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound slowing down out of the Zoo interchange all the way to about 35th Street. Take that back a step in Waukesha County. We do have that construction zone from Highway G to Highway 16 as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today, mostly sunny, warm, and a high of 88 degrees, 83 your high at the lake, and then mostly clear tonight with a low down to 63. Right now, 64 in Milwaukee And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a story from Wisconsin's North Woods, a state senator banned from tribal land. Talking about Senator Mary Felskowski. She is banned from the Lac du Flambeau land for comparing the tribe to terrorists. The tribal council passed a banishment during a meeting earlier this month and made the announcement Friday. Tribal councils in Wisconsin typically reserve banishment for convicted criminals. Felskowski is an Irma Republican, made a statement during an August 23rd meeting in discussing a road dispute, said she felt homeowners are being held hostage and said it's kind of like giving in to terrorists and I don't like it.
As they continue to investigate a deadly crash involving a motorcycle near National and Miller Park Way this morning. Also hearing word of a motorcyclist that fell off an overpass in Wauwatosa. A woman's in stable condition with serious injuries after being ejected from her motorcycle Sunday afternoon, right around 2:30. Police in Tosa say the crash happened at the intersection of 45 and Capitol Drive. So the motorcyclist crashed on the mid-level of the rising intersection, then fell to the westbound lanes of Lower Capitol Drive. It's about 15 to 20 feet. Again, said to be in stable condition this morning.
Working from home, still a thing for many employees, but beware of scams if you're in the remote work job market. Michelle Reinen from the Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection telling Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News this. Some red flags to watch for.
The company hiring is a mystery. The message only specifies an age requirement for the job. And most suspicious of all, and what we need everyone to pay attention to, is that they ask you to text them your social security number.
You ever gotten one of these? I get texts like this all the time.
Do you really?
Yep. Hey, looking for remote work, pay you $1 billion a month. And
I do wonder about that. You
do? Well, it kind of piques your ear. You're like, hey, I got some free time. Right? Yeah. Don't do it. Never click on links, they say, or respond to texts if a job offer seems suspicious.
Don't expect any rain anytime soon. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore says the next best chance for some rain won't be for at least a week.
If you're wondering when our next rain chances are, I'm thinking Sunday into this time next week, Monday, maybe Tuesday, maybe some rain chances. And that's not even looking like a home run in the forecast either. So we still have about a week to go before even there's any small rain chances in the forecast.
So far this month, it's September 16th. Milwaukee has only seen 2/100ths of an inch of rain, more than 3 inches off the average amount for September.
News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
A buck in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy one, two, or a set of four. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South, 27th Street and Jefferson. Griffin Chevrolet in the Auto Mall. Griffin Ford, Waukesha, and Fort Atkinson. 5 ways to make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hi, this is Senior Real Estate Specialist Bruce Nemovitz of Bruce's team. Don't let fear and anxiety hold you back from making the move to a new lifestyle that you deserve. With empathy and understanding, we're ready to help with downsizing, selling your home, and moving to the new lifestyle you deserve. Our team is ready to take you from overwhelmed to I can do this. Call 262-242-6177 or visit brucesteam.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:37.
Brewers Extra Innings host Dom Catronio joins us for Brewers 360 at 7:45.
It appears it is over. A dispute between some TV giants has ended.
After a 2-week dispute, DirecTV and the Walt Disney Company reached an agreement over the weekend, returning ABC and ESPN channels to DirecTV consumers. Both sides are still working to finalize a new multi-year contract. The channels have been dark for millions of DirecTV customers since September 1st. DirecTV has more than 11 million customers.
So you should be getting your ESPN and all of those back on your DirecTV.
You asked an interesting question. What about Channel 12 here locally as the ABC station, right? Here, that is still on the cable because it's an affiliate relationship. So in those markets where ABC owns the local station as well, like in New York, LA, I think Dallas, like some of the big, they call those O&Os, owned and operated stations.
I got you.
Where the network actually owns the station, then that would have been blacked out on your DirecTV. Because it's Hearst, who has an affiliate relationship with Channel 12, as all of our locals do.
Right.
So WTMJ, Channel 4 is EW Scripps Company. Yep. They have an affiliate relationship with NBC. They're not NBC. Same thing for Channel 12, which is why locally that didn't affect you in terms of ABC. Either way, so you said it. So I didn't have a chance to check. I'm DirecTV.
Lots of people say it's already back. It's supposed to be back. They say they have a deal that's somewhat finalized, but they should be good to go.
Okay, great. I didn't need ESPN this weekend like I did a couple weekends ago for the U.S. Open. So
I see. Well, we got Monday Night Football tonight, though.
Okay, so that'll be back. 7:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News. This report brought to you by Steinhoffels. Visit them at steinhoffels.com.
Get your best night's sleep on a new Beauty Rest mattress from Steinhoffels. Support a great cause when you test rest a Beauty Rest. Steinhoffels will donate $20 to special spaces, and you get a $20 restaurant reward card. Rest easy on a new Beauty Rest Black. Queen mattresses start at only $42 per month. Plus, get up to $300 in Steinhoffels cash. Start sleeping better tonight. Steinhoffels, your mattress destination.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Planning for retirement is like planning a road trip. You wouldn't start a long journey without a map, right? The same goes for your financial future. Every retirement plan needs the right tools. Social Security is one of those critical tools. But did you know when and how you claim your benefits can dramatically affect your retirement income? At Drake & Associates, we'll help you navigate the twists and turns of Social Security. Our team can guide you on when to start collecting benefits to maximize your income. Don't leave your retirement journey to chance. Call us or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's SS to 414-409-9982. Let us help you map out a secure and enjoyable retirement.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
At 7:40, good morning, Debbie Lonzico.
Good morning, Vince. We do still have this problem at National Avenue and Brewers Boulevard. That intersection is pretty basically closed off. There was a deadly accident that happened through there with a motorcyclist, so just be extra careful and try and stay away from that area. Westbound on 94, still heavy out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Another little tap of the brakes as you're crossing over into Waukesha County. Eastbound 94 is slowing down from Elmhurst Road all the way to about Highway 16. There's a construction zone there. A little bit more backed up out of the Barker Road area, and then again from the zoo all the way to about 35th Street. We've also got some delays along westbound 894, heavy out of the Mitchell all the way to 68th. Eastbound's backed up from Highway 100 on the Rock Freeway all the way through the Hale interchange to about Forest Home. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Some areas of patchy fog this morning, then hot and dry for this afternoon. High temperatures in the lower 80s by the lake, upper 80s inland with plenty of sunshine. Tonight, mostly clear skies, temperatures falling into the lower 60s. Tuesday, more sunshine throughout the day. High temperatures in the lower 80s by the lake, upper 80s once again further inland. Wednesday, temperatures drop just a bit, upper 70s to low 80s for highs, plenty of sunshine. Thursday, high temperatures near 80 once again with mostly sunny skies, and staying dry for Friday with high temperatures in the lower 80s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 63 degrees. At 7:42, we'll be busy today.
Yeah, big day today for Breakthrough T1D, which used to be JDRF. It's the charity, the national charity that raises money for type 1 diabetes research. And here locally, Grand Geneva is hosting the big event today. It's Tee Up for the Cure, where they bring in a lot of big names, a lot of big celebrity sports people come and they golf for charity with the commoners like you and me.
And then also the likes of you and me. Right. I'm glad to be there to support this. This is an important cause to you. Of course, at least you have the connection and your personal story, which is why you're there. It doesn't really define why I'm there. Other than that,
I appreciate your coming. But yeah, it'd be pretty neat. So this, every year there's like one keynote golfer. Robin Yount has been that before. Ferguson Jenkins, a Hall of Famer from Chicago, he was the keynote last year. And this year it's Bonnie Blair.
Always good to see Bonnie. She's such, if you've never had an opportunity to meet her, she's such a gracious and extraordinary person who is entirely normal, but for the fact that she's one of the greatest Olympians of all time.
Right. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Otherwise, you never know. Just a great lady.
So yeah, Tee Up for the Cure is taking place today at Grand Geneva. So really neat event, and it's great to raise more and more money for type 1 diabetes research.
On that, I should pass on. Sister Joanne wanted me to say hello to you.
Oh, okay.
Of the Sisters of St. Francis of Assisi, helped out with a benefit on Friday night for St. Coletta, which is a school and a residential facility for people with developmental and intellectual disabilities. St. Coletta celebrating 120 years. The Sisters, 175 years.
That's incredible.
And Sister Joanne was very excited to meet me, and she said, yes, I listen to your show every morning, which caused me immediately to think, like, wow, do I say a lot of mean stuff on the show? Jeez.
All of a sudden, you're super embarrassed.
Yes, like, what did I say today? Did I say anything dumb or mean today? Big fan of the show, so
great.
Passing that on.
Thank you, sister.
7:44 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac. Hey, get more Mazda for your money and more for your trade during the SUV season sales event. Well-qualified buyers lock in rates as low as 0% now on 2024 all-wheel drive favorites like Mazda CX-5, off-road ready Mazda CX-50, 3-row Mazda CX-90, and more. Gear up for fall. Find yours and discover the difference at Wisconsin's #1 Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Packers next will head to Tennessee. Another noon kickoff. They play the Titans on Sunday, coming off a 16-10 win over the Indianapolis Colts Sunday at Lambeau Field.
Brewers fall to the Diamondbacks. A back-and-forth affair to wrap up their series 11-10 in 10 innings. So now they're back home starting tonight against the Phillies. And Pancake, our magic number? 3. 3 is our magic number to clinch the NL Central.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Holiday Automotive. And on Mondays, we talk with host of Brewers Extra Innings, Dom Catronio. Dom, how are you?
Good morning, guys. We're okay. We survived. The sun came up today.
It did. More on why we're optimistic about that in a moment. First, can you help us here with the math? We are going with magic number at 3.
For NL Central.
Right, which means any combination of Brewers wins and Cubs losses would cause the Crew to clinch a division championship and hence a playoff berth. We are going with that number at 3. Would you dispute that in any way?
No, that's the right number.
That is the right number.
The Brewers have the tiebreaker on the Cubs. So that's why maybe you do the math like, wait a minute, it should be 4. No, it's 3 because the teams can't end up tied. So the Brewers' magic number is 3.
Okay, so it can't happen tonight.
No, it mathematically cannot happen tonight. As soon as it could happen is tomorrow. The Cubs are hosting the Oakland A's for a 3-game series, while these Brewers get the Phillies.
All right. Appreciate you clearing that up. And the other thing that was brought to our attention was, okay, usually it's easier to clinch a wild card berth, right? So that would come first before clinching the division. In this case, actually, it's easier mathematically for the Crew to clinch that division first, so then it's all for naught after that. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, correct,
Okay.
because the team that's in first place in the wild card berth is only a game back of the Brewers in their record.
Right.
So it's one of those years where it's so top-heavy, where there's going to be multiple 90-win teams in the National League. And, heck, there could be a team that wins 90 games and is on the outside looking in. So that's part of the reason why you're going to clinch a division before you clinch a wild card. But who cares? Any way in, any means necessary is all that matters.
Difference between clinching and clenching, of course.
Of course, everyone clenched yesterday.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's exactly right,
There's been some
Tom.
clenching.
Yesterday was some serious clenching. So there's some back and forth. Vince has given his approval to the use or non-use of Williams
Well, I understand
late
it
in the
more
game yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, my thing with it all is he's either available or he's not. And if you're gonna, ride the line, and it was tough asking anybody to go 4 out of 6, and they did that with Trevor McGillen. He gave up a run. Aaron Ashby, poor time for him to allow his first runs as a reliever. He had been fantastic, and then to just say, oh, we only want him for 1 or 2 batters. Okay, well, what happens if he walks those 1 or 2 batters? And now he's going beyond what you had hoped with the 3-batter minimum. So it just seemed like a plan destined to fail. And I'm not mad or anything. It's just the fact of it's hard to ask pitchers to pitch this much. And now with McGill not going to be available probably until Wednesday at the soonest, I imagine he'll try to stay away from Devin since he technically got up to warm up yesterday. So every day leads to the next. It's hard to be a manager in Major League Baseball, especially in the middle of 13 in a row at the end of the season. There are a lot of reasons why the Brewers lost the game. It's not solely on Devin not getting in the game.
Interesting game, though. A lot of back and forth. The Brewers multiple times came from, they came from behind twice, right, to go ahead and find themselves in a position to win that ball game.
Well, yeah, I mean, it would have been their largest comeback win of the year, being down 5-0 at one point. My biggest takeaway from yesterday's game are 2 things. Number one, this team needs to re-sign Erik as their backup catcher next year because he's been fantastic. Number 2, Jackson Churio might be the best hitter in the National League, and that's not hyperbole.
I mean, what he did against pitching, and that cat was fireballing. It wasn't like once in a while he hit 100. This dude was regularly in triple digits. I think he hit 103.
103 on that pitch. And in the StatCast era, when Jackson Churio hit that triple down the right field line, that is the hardest hit ball. He hit it 110 miles an hour off his bat on a 103-mile-an-hour pitch. That's the hardest hit ball on a pitch that fast in the StatCast era. Oh, by the way, he's 20.
Brewers buzz.
That's what it is.
We got buzz.
All right, Dom. Hopefully all this business is taken care of when we talk again next week, all right?
It should be a fun week. Get your tickets now. They're virtually guaranteed to clinch at home, so these are always a party. These are fun. Thanks, guys.
Host of Brewers Extra Innings, Dom Catronio, with us on Brewers 360 today.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. They're the window and door equivalent of hitting for the cycle. Pella, they manufacture all of their own products, and each one of those products gets tested thousands of times to ensure it stands the test of time. Quality craftsmanship and innovative design. They're built into every Pella product for timeless beauty and performance. Order by September 30th and get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
The Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales, Luther Gray.
James Imaging has been a wonderful partnership with the Milwaukee Symphony and just great to work with.
In what ways?
If an issue does arise, they're very prompt, polite, and professional. It makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
Luther James Imaging Systems is a local business technology company that stands with their clients over the long term.
Yes, before, during, and after the sale, James Imaging is there, and they are making sure you get the full value and life of every product that you have with them.
Luther, any advice for others looking for a long-term business technology partnership?
I would tell them that James Imaging is the way to go.
Start your business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems today. It's easy to do. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Delicious boneless, skinless chicken breasts are on sale this week at Sendix for just $3.99 per pound. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Debbie?
All right, still seeing some delays because of this issue at National and Brewers Boulevard. They've got the closures east and westbound on National, as well as northbound on Brewers Boulevard closed. Southbound, all but one lane is closed. So just try and avoid that intersection altogether. It was a deadly accident that happened earlier this morning, so they're still doing the work on that area. Westbound on 94, backing up from just before 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, and then again from the Zoo all the way to the county line. Eastbound 94 is backed up from Elmhurst Road all the way to Highway 16. There's a construction zone there. And then again from about 92nd Street all the way through to 35th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ 5-day forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. On our way to a high of 88 degrees today under mostly sunny skies. A little bit cooler if you're near Lake Michigan. Tonight's low down to 63. Kind of the same day tomorrow, 81 at the lake, 87 inland. And then for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week, high temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s under mostly sunny skies. Not a drop of rain in the 5-day forecast. 63 in Milwaukee.
It was a record-setting night at the Emmys. Television's biggest night. Shogun, which is FX's remake of the 16th century feudal Japan drama Shogun, won 18 Emmys in its first season. Not bad. Take home 18 Emmys. But perhaps the biggest shocker from Sunday night, Vince.
It came in the category for Best Comedy.
Hacks.
The Max series Hacks winning for its third season, beating The Bear, which had set the record for the most comedy nominations ever at the Emmys. Co-creator and co-star Paul W. Downs obviously surprised.
I have no thoughts in my brain.
I was not expecting to be up here at all. So The Bear did win some other Emmys, though, and there was a big controversy over The Bear just because it's not really a comedy, but it was in the comedy category, and Eugene Levy, he brought that up.
Now, some of you might be expecting us to make a joke about whether The Bear is really a comedy. But in the true spirit of The Bear, we will not be making any jokes.
So it was kind of a look back at some other shows, reunion type of thing. They did that with Happy Days. So there they were, Ron Howard and Henry Winkler. They were in the diner together. They had the diner there, and they were trying to figure out why the Happy Days music hadn't played.
Well, I have a solution.
What?
Well, you could do it.
No, come on. First of all, I'm out of practice. And second of all, it takes schooling and,
Well, you went to the Yale School of Drama, Henry. Come on, you can do it.
So Winkler, as the Fonz, strutted over to the jukebox, stood there for a minute, posed, and then hit it like he would have. The music would start. Did it work? It was fine. People
it was what it was. It was schlocky. They knew it was schlocky. They did it like that. Okay.
Interesting observation because of what had happened earlier in the day on Sunday. We had the assassination attempt of former President Trump from that golf course. They have a man in custody. So you wondered how that may have played a role in what was said or not said at the Emmys.
Keep believing and vote. Vote for your rights.
There's a big push on registering to vote and to vote. Jon Stewart, who won an Emmy for The Daily Show, was asked about that shooting afterward. Or I'm sorry, not the shooting, but the assassination attempt of this guy they found at the golf course.
We live in a horrible moment where emotions, and I think the one rule maybe we could all
benefit from in terms of engagement is no shooting.
Yeah, hey, maybe we just do that. Can we just settle down a little bit? Finally, I'll leave you with this because I thought this was a very poignant remark that was made to be funny, but also so true. So they also did a 25-year reunion look back of The West Wing. So they had, a couple of members of the cast, unveiled. And they're on
the Bartlett administration.
Yes, and Martin Sheen was there, and he looks exactly the same. Looks like $1 million. But I thought it was great. Here's what they said.
It's hard to believe that just 25 years ago, Aaron and the writers actually had to use their imaginations to create interesting plot lines for The West Wing.
Unlike today, where storylines can be plucked right off the news, storylines that writers would have deemed a bit far-fetched, if not utterly ridiculous 25 years ago.
Not wrong.
I think that's accurate.
Right?
Right.
They're not wrong.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News is sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. What happened to Tauscher? How did you do, Tauscher?
Is he back tomorrow?
Tauscher's back
All
tomorrow.
right.
He's just off today, but we'll get you your Packers breakdown. ESPN's Jason Wilde is going to join us at 8:10 this morning. Find out some more of the inside stuff on everything that played out at Lambeau Field on Sunday and look ahead to the Titans. That's coming up with Wilde at 8:10.
Nice to see you. These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A new bar and dance club called 90s 2K Cafe is now open in downtown Milwaukee. The nostalgia-themed bar is on North Dr. Martin Luther King Drive in the space that formerly housed the Howl at the Moon live music bar. A new private terminal is coming to Waukesha County Airport. It's being built by a Milwaukee company called Jet Out, which provides private aviation services and offers the opportunity to co-own aircraft. Construction is expected to be completed in the first half of 2025. Roles in management, IT, engineering, and security are among the jobs expected when the first phase of Microsoft's $3.3 billion data center opens in Mount Pleasant by 2026. The first phase is expected to bring around 200 data center jobs, with around 2,000 expected over time. I'm Teddy Nykel with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Arbor Point Advisors, LLC, APA. Osaic Wealth and APA are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and APA.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Protect mom's assets. Protect your assets. Call Kraus Estate Planning, estateplanningpeople.com.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8:01, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News for Monday, September 16th. Our top story, learning more about the suspect in a second attempt on the former president's life.
I'm Erik Bilstad. TikTok heads to court.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Trying to avoid the intersection of National Avenue and Brewers Boulevard. We had a deadly accident going through there, and that is going to make things very difficult to get through. Southbound is the only way you can get through, and only through one lane. So if you want to avoid the delays and everything, just avoid that whole area. Westbound 94 backed up from just west of 25th Street all the way through to almost Hawley Road. They got the eastbound side backing up from Elmhurst Road all the way to Highway 16, and then back on the brakes from 84th Street through to 35th. And southbound 43 heavy from Silver Spring all the way down to Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High of 88 degrees today, a little bit cooler near Lake Michigan under mostly sunny skies. Skies stay clear overnight and a low of 63. Right now, Milwaukee up to 68 degrees. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the FBI doing a deep dive into the background of Ryan Routh, the suspect in custody after another attempt on the former president's life. A Secret Service agent spotted a gun at West Palm Beach Golf Course while former President Trump was there playing. ABC News Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas.
There's concern that he had done surveillance of Trump and the golf course and may have visited there before. While the Secret Service responded quickly and apparently effectively, questions remain about how the man was able to get into such a critical position near the course in the first place. Should there have been more personnel to secure the property? The incident comes less than 2 months after a sniper tried to kill Trump at a Pennsylvania rally, leading to the resignation of the Secret Service director. Congress is investigating the Secret Service, and key congressional leaders are calling for a thorough FBI and Secret Service investigation and the need for transparency.
ABC's Josh Margolin joined us earlier on Wisconsin's Morning News. He says the Secret Service now analyzing whether or not their response Sunday was a success or a failure.
Failure in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th. But yesterday, there's some view that this was a success. That's why there are redundancies. Obviously, the Secret Service would prefer somebody to never leave a security bubble, but that's not possible, especially for a candidate, especially 50 days out from an election.
The former president will stump in Flint, Michigan tomorrow.
Here at home, installed, vandalized, cleaned up, vandalized again, all within a couple of days.
That's a summary of what's happened so far to a controversial new mural in Milwaukee near Holton and Locust depicting a swastika inside the Star of David. The Milwaukee Common Council has condemned the mural, calling it, quote, hurtful and divisive and requesting the property owner take it down. The building's owner, Ihsan Atta, telling TMJ4 News.
So the message intended is to bring awareness of the genocide that's taking place in Palestine.
Atta says he would only remove the mural if the Common Council apologizes for its statement and condemns the genocide in Gaza. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A federal appeals court will hear arguments over a potential ban on TikTok today. The app is challenging a law Congress passed earlier this year in April, forcing its Chinese-owned parent company to sell within 9 months or face a nationwide ban. The president of the Liberty Justice Center, Jacob Husert, says free speech.
This ban will shut down the speech rights of the 170 million Americans who use TikTok to share and hear content. And a lot of that content has to do with political ideas, the speech that the First Amendment most exists to protect.
TikTok claims the law violates the free speech rights of Americans. The government argues TikTok's relationship with the Chinese Communist Party poses a threat to national security.
Coming up, well, the Packers got a win on Sunday. Another NFL squad made history, and not in a good way. That story next. Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:05.
News is sponsored by BBC Lighting. Thousands of specialty light fixtures open Monday through Saturday.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. As the largest lighting supplier to new home builders and decorators in Wisconsin, our huge showroom displays all the finest brands of lighting and ceiling fans, including such top brands as Visual Comfort, Tech, and many more. And our expert staff will assist you in making the right selections. Our prices are always the lowest. I guarantee it. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We're located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Annex Wealth Management. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite comprehensive financial planning customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
Exciting Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
Packers now 1-1 following their 16-10 win over the Indianapolis Colts. Jordan Love sidelined. Malik Willis, the backup, been in town a few weeks, commanded the offense like he's been doing it for a while.
Malik Willis arrived in Green Bay August 26th, having never won a game or completed a touchdown pass in 3 career starts.
And the last opportunity I got to start a game was my rookie year. I wasn't where I wanted to be as far as the offense went or playing NFL football, as a rookie.
On Sunday, Willis completed 12 of 14 passes for 122 yards and a touchdown, impressing head coach Matt LaFleur.
There was a lot put on his plate, and for him to be able to go out there and do what he did today, I think that speaks volumes of who he is as a person and the work that he's put in.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Packers ran 41 of Willis also ran for 41 of the Packers' 261 yards rushing on the day. Next up for the Pack, we head to Nashville to face the Titans in Week 3. Next up for Wisconsin's Morning News, ESPN's Jason Wilde joins us live at 8:10 to break it down.
There was a unique first in an NFL game on Sunday.
It was a back-and-forth battle between the New York Giants and Washington Commanders, tied at 18 with seconds left. Washington won it on a 30-yard field goal on Fox.
Boston cybered, and it's over.
The Giants became the first team in NFL history to score 3 or more touchdowns in a game and lose in regulation time to a team that scored no TDs. The Commanders kicked 7 field goals. The Giants failed on all 3 conversion attempts after their touchdowns. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
It made my brain hurt for a second there as I was trying to figure out the stat that he was.
So basically, the Giants kicker got hurt, so they kept going for 2. They never got it, so they scored multiple touchdowns and still lost to a team that didn't score any touchdowns. They
7
kicked
field
7
goals,
field
7
goals.
times 3, 21, so they lose 20. Oh, man. That's a soccer game,
right?
Is what that is, or football. Putting the foot back in football, you know what I mean? 8:08 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
It's David Nason, your personal inspection pro from WTMJ's The Fix-It Show. I'm with my go-to basement repair guy, Chris Mancuso of Accurate Basement Repair. This is the team I personally recommend for leaky or cracked basements.
Wow, thanks, David. Our team at Accurate Basement Repair has been fixing leaky and cracked basements for the Fix-It listeners for over 20 years.
That's great, Chris. For more information about how to schedule a free inspection and estimate, check out AccurateBasementRepair.com because they're not just good, they're accurate.
Vince Vitrano for Connect Chiropractic. Been seeing Dr. Alex Young and his team for more than a year now. My neck, back, shoulder, feeling so much better. But these docs can work on a lot more than just that. Was visiting with a local mom. She started taking her 2-year-old son to see Dr. Alex for, among other things, constipation and eczema. Not things traditionally you would associate with chiropractic care, but she was trying medication, trying other things. Nothing seemed to be working. And now regular adjustments at Connect Chiropractic cleared those things up for her son. And she was so impressed. Both she and her other son are now also in the care of Connect Chiropractic. It's no twisting, no cracking, no popping. So no concerns there with the kids. The docs use a special tool to make all of the adjustments that's pain-free and effective. You can stop out and visit them. Connect Chiropractic is out in the community. They love doing this stuff. They're at the Wauwatosa, West Allis, Waukesha, and Pewaukee farmers markets. Or you can get started online anytime. It's Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to adventknows.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scavidi here. My wife and I just took advantage of Heiser's savings and got our brand new 2024 Chevy Trailblazer, and boy, is this thing amazing. It's a beautiful sterling gray metallic that really shines. With a 5-star safety rating, we feel secure with features like automatic emergency braking, IntelliBeam Auto High Beam Lane Keep Assist, and an HD rear vision camera that will blow you away. The owner benefits unbeatable. 3-year, 36,000 bumper-to-bumper warranty, 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty, and Heiser's exclusive Safe and Sound program. Get the details at Heiser.com. The tech is top-notch, and the remote starter, perfect for our weather. Heated seats and steering wheel, you bet. And the best part, it's affordable and perfect for everyone. Heiser's Safe and Sound program is a game changer, vehicle exchange program, roadside assistance for life, and more. No wonder they've been in business for over 100 years. Don't miss their end of summer sizzling savings all month long. Visit Heiser.com because at Heiser, today's your day.
At 8:12, let's get an update here on the Morning Drive. Hey, Debbie.
Oh, hey there. Okay, we've got that intersection of Brewers Boulevard and National Avenue completely blocked off. All directions are blocked right now as they try and work on clearing an accident, a deadly accident that happened earlier this morning. Westbound on 94 got backups from just west of 27th Street through the Stadium interchange. Another couple pockets of heavy traffic from Highway 100 to the county line and heading into the Barker Road area. Eastbound, slowing from Highway G to Highway 16. Back on the brakes from 84th Street through the Stadium interchange as well to 35th Street. And northbound on 4394, we got some backups coming out of the Mitchell interchange all the way around the Plainfield curve up to Oklahoma Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High of 83 degrees today at the lake. 88 degrees your high temperature away from Lake Michigan under mostly sunny skies. Clear tonight, low down to 63. Right now 64 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
And live on the YouTubes, you can check out the WTMJ YouTube channel if you want to watch the radio. Our podcast page available to you anytime. Greg Pancake Hill produces the program and posts things as we go, just in case there's anything you missed. So you can get that on the app, on our website, or text Vince to 855-616-1620. Erik Bilstad, Vince Vitrano here with you. Debbie on the cars through 9 o'clock, and Adam Roberts in the newsroom this morning. You want to do Packers? Feels a lot better this week.
Oh, my gosh. Right. Victory Monday? Yes.
He's got room. Josh Jacobs gallops 3. Biggest run in his short tenure with the Packers. Jacobs for 40 yards.
Fox Sports on the call, 40 of his 151 rushing yards.
What's your 3?
Oh, I thought you were going to play the whole thing.
No, you got to come up with something.
Okay. Got the win.
Very good.
No Tausch today. We have ESPN's Jason Wilde, gracious enough to join us here at this special time. Wilde, really appreciate it. How are you?
Hey, where do I text Vince? What's the text number again? Because I want to tell Vince to be nicer to his brother.
Oh, that's actually good producing because I don't think I gave out the number. 855-616-1620. What, you saw Nick up there?
I did. I saw him at back to school night the other night. And
what's his problem?
He's such a nice guy. I don't know why you're always putting him down.
I know. Why is that the narrative with him always? I'm fine. I haven't said a word about him in like forever. But every time somebody I know is up in Green Bay and they run into my brother who does radio up there, they're like, yeah, I saw your brother. He said this, that. I'm like, what? What?
Oh, problems.
Oh, man. All right, what do you want to...
Well, I feel bad because we had a conversation with Malik Willis on Wednesday, and I asked him the most, in my opinion anyway, innocuous question about how even-keeled he seemed. And I said, are you just that way with us, or is that kind of how you are all the time? Which, by the way, turned out to be part of his story yesterday, right? I mean, LaFleur talked about it, how calm he was for a guy who'd only been there for 3 weeks. And he turned and he said to me, I know y'all are trying to get me. I don't want no beef. And I was like, wait, what? So I'm creating beef between you and your brother, obviously, because I'm stirring stuff up. But I think he had his experience. I think this was indicative of his experience in Nashville with the Titans media. I think he was a disappointment as a draft pick, got caught up in a tough situation with a change in general manager. And so I went over to him yesterday after. I said, hey, I know we got off to a rocky start. And I had talked to him later Wednesday to say, hey, I'm not trying to get you. I thought it was a simple question. But I congratulated him, which I don't do very often in the locker room, because I was really happy for a guy who I think was put in some tough spots in Tennessee and was put in a really tough spot all week long. But Matt LaFleur and that coaching staff designed the perfect game plan to allow him to succeed, to get the running game going and get a W in a game where I think a lot of people thought they were in trouble.
Yeah, Jason, I have to admit, I thought this had to have been one of the best wins of LaFleur's career.
It was. And you know, that it's funny that you say that, because I asked him after the game if this was one. I said, you've won a lot of football games here in the last 5+ years, but this has to be one of your favorites. And he said, yeah, absolutely. And I think that's kind of, you know, look, we're all wired differently, right? But I don't know if there's anything more satisfying for anybody in whatever walk of life where people have low expectations or are doubting you and you're facing a lot of adversity that you have to overcome. And Lord knows not having your star quarterback qualifies as adversity for an NFL coach. And you come up with a way to succeed in the face of all that. And I don't know if you guys got to see the locker room video that the Packers posted. They had to do a lot of bleeping because he was so fired up. But this clearly meant a lot to him and to this team. It was a heck of a win yesterday.
Talking with ESPN's Jason Wilde here on Wisconsin's Morning News. You know who else had a good day yesterday? Brian Gutekunst, Packers general manager. A number of the choices that he made most recently in this offseason, bringing in Josh Jacobs at running back, who might still be running. And, you know, on the other side, Xavier McKinney got his second pick in as many weeks. I mean, he's hitting on both of those major offseason decisions.
He definitely is. And look, Malik Willis, again, he chose to trade for him instead of keeping one of the two guys that were in camp with this team. And Malik Willis did his job, even though it was a limited role that they put him in to do it. Look, I thought Josh Jacobs was terrific. I mean, he did have the fumble near the goal line when they were about to go up 17-0, so it would have probably been a blowout instead of close at the end. But you're right, and I really like Xavier McKinney. Tausch gives me a hard time because I compared him in terms of the impact he's had in the locker room to Charles Woodson. And he's like, you can't compare him to Charles Woodson. And I've reached out to Charles because I want to have him on the show so either he and Tausch can gang up on me and tell me I'm an idiot, or he can confirm my thoughts, because what Charles did with Al Harris and Nick Collins and Tramon Williams and Jarrett Bush and all those guys in that locker room back then on their way to Super Bowl 45 was he elevated everyone. Everyone was drawn to him. They dressed up for games, which they had never done before. They watched film and prepared in a different way than they had before. And I think Xavier McKinney has had that same impact on a defensive backfield where there's a lot of young guys other than Jair. And so I think it's really been neat to see that group. And here's the crazy stat for you. Last year, the Packers had 7 interceptions all season long. Only one team, Tennessee, had fewer. They have 5 interceptions through 2 games. So they should surpass, given the way Will Levis plays quarterback for the Titans, they should surpass last year's total sometime in the third quarter next Sunday.
What happens next with Jordan Love? Will this be a week-to-week thing where we think maybe he's playing until the Sunday, then they'll determine whether or not he's actually going out there?
Yeah, so my understanding has been all along that the expectation was that it wasn't so severe that he'd be at the 6-week end of the projection of 3 to 6 weeks of him being out, that he would be more at the optimistic end. And I know Tausch, you know, he misses he misses almost as many days on your show as he misses on ours. I know he is he's going to the Vikings game in 2 weeks, and I would in no way be surprised if Jordan Love starts that game. But I would be very surprised. I think they're going to play it safe with him. They may play the game that they played this week, but I would expect him to miss the game in Tennessee. Malik Willis starts against his former team. And then Jordan either starts against the Vikings on the 29th or starts in Los Angeles against the Rams on the 6th. I think the question is, which of those 2 games will be his return? I will be very surprised if he plays against the Titans, but I won't rule it out.
ESPN's Jason Wilde on with us this morning. Wilde, as fans, we always react to what we saw last and high or low. So looking at what the Packers did on the ground and that fantastic running game, that was split up between multiple backs as well. The offensive line had a big day. we can't expect to put 200-plus yards on teams throughout the season, right? That also is a very bad defense against the run that we saw.
Yeah, the amazing thing about the Colts is that they gave up more rushing yards in week 1 than any team in the league, with 213 yards against the Texans. Joe Mixon, their running back, had 159 yards. And the Packers had surpassed that league worst total before halftime. They had 237 yards at halftime. So, yes, unless they're playing the Colts for 15 more weeks, they probably will not put up those rushing numbers. And I'm sure the Titans are saying, all right, the Colts knew that they were going to run the ball and they still couldn't stop them. We know they're going to run the ball. We are going to stop them. So they will have to adjust. And I do think two quick things. One, I thought Adam Stenavich, who LaFleur credited, did a really good job of creating a lot of misdirection. The running plays weren't different running plays than what they had in their playbook. They just dressed them up with a lot of motion, a lot of fakes to the wide receivers that were running past and running around in the backfield, doing whirly birds back there. I thought that was part of the confusion that they created. But one of the things that Steno told us last week was, if a defense is going to be hell-bent on stopping the run, Malik is going to have to make some throws. And we're not just going to bang our heads against the wall if they're committed to stopping the run. They were able to be productive this time. If they're not able to do it next week, they are going to have to put the ball in Malik Willis's hands more often. And I thought he made two really good throws. I thought the touchdown throw, from a timing perspective, it was a tiny window with that defender who had a chance to tip it away just before it got to Dontavion Wicks, was a really good throw. And then he put the ball right where he needed to for a 50-50 ball to Romeo Doubs, and Doubs went up and got it. He did not make those cataclysmic mistakes that most backup quarterbacks make that lose you games, and he's going to have to do that again if he's the starter against the Titans.
ESPN's Jason Wilde. Appreciate the extra time today, Wilde. And if you see my brother, tell him I love him.
Well, somebody's got to. All right, guys.
Poor
Take
Nick.
care. Be good.
Take care, buddy. You know, that's another point that Wilde makes, though. You know what? Who elevated their guy? Who came to help Malik Willis?
Yeah.
That catch that Dobbs made, that was Dobbs just saying, I'm helping my guy here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get the ball. It reminded me of something that Donald Driver said, or maybe it was Javon Walker, who said after the Brett Favre game when he lost his father and he threw 17 touchdowns or whatever it was against Oakland. They said in the receiver room, and I can't remember which receiver said, but if you have to climb a ladder, go get a ladder, climb that ladder, and get that football. We're going to do that for this guy. We're going to elevate him. You saw the wide receivers do that. You saw the O-line do that. You saw the running backs do that. And the defense, oh, by the way, as well. So feeling all good here on this Monday morning. 8:24 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Time for traffic.
Thank you. Westbound on 94, we've got delays from 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, and then again just west of Highway 100 into Waukesha County. We've also got this crash at Brewers Boulevard and National Avenue. That intersection's completely closed in all directions. Also 41 northbound, an accident just north of North Avenue. Left lane's blocked with that one. And then we've also got an incident on 41 southbound, just south of Silver Spring. Off on the right shoulder, an incident there. Okay. Southbound 43 backed up from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. And the northbound side out of the Mitchell interchange, northbound on 4394, that is. It's going to be slow from the Mitchell all the way up past Oklahoma Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
We're thrilled to have the one and only Will Pounder.
I don't know what that means.
Labeled or known as being a big baguette.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure?
Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ansay.com. That's ANSAY.com.
Any exterior remodeling company can give you a lot of good reasons to get a new roof, siding, windows and doors, or masonry work. Aesthetic appeal alone or just resale value help it all make sense. But I'm compelled to continue to tell you what sets Semper Fi apart from the rest. What you're going to get from Semper Fi is a reputation that is backed by an undeniable stack of proof that we are who we say we are. Our character is guided by a level of trust and accountability which not only holds our teams together, but also keeps our reputation intact. And ultimately, that means leaving you satisfied. So when you're about to make that big investment in your home, isn't that what you want? This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests.
.828 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Well, the neighbors never saw it coming.
Never heard anything directly from him that expressed any kind of hatred or that would even make me worry about his ability to do something like he's being alleged to do.
It's a guy who lives near the man suspected of making an attempt on former President Trump's life this weekend at a golf club in Florida, 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Routh. I don't believe authorities have officially announced that, but ABC News is going with that as the suspect, as is pretty much everyone. So that is out there this morning as that investigation is just really getting started. This happened Sunday. The former president staying at Mar-a-Lago, and then apparently is this Trump National, which is right nearby. But it was apparently an unscheduled, late decision. I'm going to play golf, which the former president has done lots of times. He's an avid golfer, right? So you would think this property is quite familiar to the Secret Service detail. However, some rumblings of, man, we really would like to have a little bit more lead time.
In the Secret Service, there's been plenty of stories over the years, and even recently, too, about the challenges of protecting a VIP when they're golfing. And now presidents have been golfing since
ever.
Yeah. But that's been one of the always has been one of the issues that they've run into. I don't want to say issues, but one of the challenges of with Trump, because he spends time on the golf course.
It's a big property as well. And if you've been watching any of the television coverage, they've been showing you sort of how the course sets up, and it's perimeter that is close to public spaces or public areas. Right. So obviously it's a private club or whatever, so you don't just let anybody in there. But there are points that seem to be accessible from the outside that would have been where this individual is alleged to have gotten in. Apparently, they found him when the Secret Service detail, about a hole ahead of where the former president was, goes up and checks that area before he comes into that close proximity. That's where one Secret Service agent said they saw what appeared to be the barrel of a long gun poking out from the bushes.
Yeah, that's what they saw. They were doing their recon, and they saw a barrel of a gun, and then the firing began. As of now, there's been no confirmation or determination as to whether or not this guy actually fired his gun, AK-47. But boy, you wonder how this happened or where was this just out of luck? I mean, did they even know that the president was even going to be golfing that day?
Some evidence to suggest that the individual had been surveilling the president for some time, was familiar with his movements. Sure. Right, but if it was something that was scheduled late or wasn't really on his docket for the day, how would he have known? Or might have just been monitoring everything that he's been doing. Who knows how long exactly that he's been following him.
When the motorcade moves, you know who it is.
Right. Routh apparently vacated the scene when he was fired upon by Secret Service, left behind what they said was an AR-15 with a scope as well, backpack with some other stuff in it. So they believe that they've got the right guy. ABC's Christian Cordero with an interesting point about what happens next for the former president. He's supposed to be in Michigan tomorrow.
Democratic and Republican members of the task force investigating the shooting have already requested a briefing from the Secret Service on yesterday's incident. There are now bipartisan calls to have Trump's security match that of Biden's. One Democratic representative saying anything less than maximum protection is a self-inflicted wound that puts our nation's stability at grave risk.
Interesting point. That's Democrats again calling for it, saying like no one benefits from, regardless of what you think of the former president, no one benefits from him not being kept safe, particularly in this run up to the election. Right? Can you imagine where we would be today?
Oh, don't even want to fathom that.
Right? What would you even do in terms of the election? What would Republicans do to get a new nominee? Would it just be Senator Vance, who's the vice presidential nominee? Does he just ascend to the top of the ticket then? Who do you put on the bottom of the ticket? All of that. Is that even what they would do? Would there be calls to delay the election? Everything that, constitutionally would cause problems with that. But we'd be in a bad place as a country, regardless of what you think of the former president, if any of these assassination attempts had been successful. And Democrats clearly understand that as well. I think the call for him to get the same level of security as a sitting president, at least for the next couple of months while we get to the election, probably makes sense. Mm-hmm. Again, he's supposed to be in Michigan. I believe he's got a town hall in Flint tomorrow.
Yes.
So much more on the suspect expected. The difference between this and the last assassination attempt on the president is this guy's still alive. So maybe they're able to get some answers out of him. Maybe he's got a point to make and will be entirely happy to talk. We'll see. But much more to learn about his intentions this morning. 8:33 on Wisconsin's Morning News. This is the WTMJ Fall Home Improvement Showcase. One way to improve your home is to buy a new one. I'm Vince Vitrano, and we are talking real estate today with Milwaukee's senior real estate specialist, Bruce Nemovitz. The company is called Bruce's Team. Great to have you here, Bruce.
Great to be here.
So a lot of people in the real estate business. What makes Bruce's Team different? What separates you from some of those other companies and agents out there?
We're not the typical company in that we work with seniors and their families, and it's really a special group of people because as people get older, decisions get a little tougher, and we listen to the needs of our seniors, and so often we hear the word overwhelmed when they think of selling their longtime home and moving to a senior community. And our tagline, and we live by this, is taking you from overwhelmed to I can do this.
Listening to you talk about that, Bruce, trust is so important when we're speaking about assets like our home or making these big life decisions. How do you build trust with the folks that you work with?
We really don't feel as if we're building trust. We just feel like if we give them the right facts and we're honest with them and straightforward and really have their needs before our needs, that trust will be the end result.
We're talking with senior real estate specialist Bruce Nemovitz. Bruce, I know you do some of these seminars. You speak with senior communities in our area. Tell me what folks can learn at some of these seminars.
So we have been privileged to speak at, I would say, almost all of these senior communities in the four-county Milwaukee area. And what we do is we give them a lot of information, and one of the big topics is downsizing. And we talk about the process in moving. And by the end of our talks, people come up to me and they thank me and they say, I didn't think I could do this, but after what you just told us out there, I think now we can make that move.
Well, thanks so much, Bruce, for being on the Fall Home Improvement Showcase here on WTMJ. Bruce Nemovitz, the company is called Bruce's Team. You can find them online at brucesteam.com.
Eager to remodel your kitchen, bath, or rec room? This is Rob Adair, and we're ready with a personal redesign for you. Adair Floors and Remodeling in Franklin. Give us a call and get personal care from Adair. 761-3660. AdairFloors.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
At 8:35, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News, Monday, September 16th. Our top story, scrutiny of the Secret Service following another attempt on the former president's life.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we're still dealing with this issue at the intersection of National Avenue and Brewers Boulevard. I'd avoid that intersection. All directions are closed off anyways. It was a deadly accident that happened earlier this morning, and they're still working on it. So westbound on 94, we are seeing delays from west of 35th Street right through to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's got some heavy traffic just heading into the Highway 16 area through that construction zone. Then you're back on the brakes from 76th Street through the stadium. An accident northbound on 41 also causing some problems. Left lane is blocked with this crash that happened just north of North Avenue, looking at delays all the way back to Blue Mound Road. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today and a warm high of 88 degrees inland, 83 if you're near Lake Michigan. Tonight, mostly clear, and a low down to 63. Milwaukee temp now at 69. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, former President Donald Trump thanking law enforcement for a, quote, incredible response to what the FBI described as an assassination attempt at Trump's golf course Sunday in Palm Beach, Florida. Multiple agency sources saying that it's 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Routh who's been detained by Florida authorities in connection with the incident. More from ABC News Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce.
The president stressing in a statement there is no place for political violence and saying he's directed his team to make sure that the Secret Service has every resource they need to ensure the former president's safety. Vice President Harris saying she's deeply disturbed by this possible assassination attempt. She, too, condemned political violence, adding, quote, "We all must do our part to ensure that this incident does not lead to more violence."
President Biden moments ago saying the Secret Service may need additional personnel following this.
What kind of help do you think?
I think we need some more personnel. I think they're deciding whether they need more personnel or not.
ABC's Josh Margolin telling Wisconsin's Morning News earlier today the Secret Service is still analyzing whether or not the response Sunday should be viewed as a success or a failure.
We know that it was a failure in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th, but yesterday there's some view that this was a success. That's why there are redundancies. Obviously, the Secret Service would prefer somebody to never leave a security bubble, but that's not possible, especially for a candidate, especially 50 days out from an election.
Former President Trump's next scheduled public event is a town hall in Flint, Michigan tomorrow. More than a year after a deep-sea submersible imploded off the coast of Newfoundland, several investigators have a long list of questions about the accident that claimed 5 lives, which they hope to get from a hearing that begins today.
It's a fact-finding mission for the Coast Guard's Marine Board of Investigations.
We are charged to also detect misconduct or negligence by credentialed mariners.
The board's Jason Neubauer says that if testimony from the 24 witnesses points to wrongdoing by OceanGate Expeditions,
we would make a recommendation to the Department of Justice.
OceanGate's chief executive and 4 passengers died when their submersible imploded during a dive to explore the wreck of the Titanic. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Thousands of Boeing workers still on strike. They rejected a contract offer late last week. Union machinists overwhelmingly voting against a deal that would have included a 25% pay raise over several years. They picketed outside Boeing factories in Washington Friday. Boeing had agreed to build its next new plane in that state. Boeing worker A.J. Jones says the machinists are looking for more, up to 40% in a pay bump.
Food prices are going up. The cost of living is going up. And we believe that we deserve better. So that's why our brothers and sisters are out here raising our voice, and we want a better deal.
Boeing says it is looking for ways to save money while it looks for a contract that the union will accept. Time for news about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The opening bell minutes ago, Dow Jones Industrial Average up another 211 points, right now at 41,605. The S&P 500 is down about 11 to 5615, and the NASDAQ down more than 160 points to start the day at 17,514. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
The Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales, Luther Gray.
James Imaging has been a wonderful partnership with the Milwaukee Symphony and just great to work with.
In what ways?
If an issue does arise, they're very prompt, polite, and professional. It makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
Luther James Imaging Systems is a local business technology company that stands with their clients over the long term.
Yes, before, during, and after the sale, James Imaging is there, and they are making sure you get the full value in life of every product that you have with them.
Luther, any advice for others looking for a long-term business technology partnership?
I would tell them that James Imaging is the way to go.
Start your business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems today. It's easy to do. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. It's your knee that's bugging you, right? Or is it your back? For some of us, it's the hips. Achy joints with pain you can't get over. Well, there is a way to fix it. There is a way to get lasting pain relief using your own body's healing properties. It's all thanks to QC Kinetics, advanced regenerative medicine. QC Kinetics can help enhance your joints, improve mobility, and get back to doing all the fun things you like to do without pain. No surgery, no painkillers, and no downtime. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in using cellular therapies. If you want to learn more, the consultations are free. You can set up an appointment at QC Kinetics. They have clinics in Mequon and in Greenfield. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call now and get lasting joint pain relief with the help from QC Kinetics. 414-285-3474.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, word of a bus crash, school bus that crashed in northern Ozaukee County. WTMJ's Adam Roberts has been getting some information on this. Where are we at, Adam?
So right now, Vince, details still very limited on this, but we do have some critical information so far. It's being called a rollover accident near Highway E and J Road. It's just south of the Sheboygan-Ozaukee County line. Reportedly, up to 40 students were on board this bus at the time of the crash. We do have a statement out right now from the Random Lake School District just put out moments ago, which does confirm that students were injured in the accident and are currently receiving medical attention. The district says any impacted families have been contacted. The remaining students on the bus actively being picked up by parents at this time. The Sheboygan County Medical Examiner has been contacted. What we do know is they are aware of the incident, but are referring things to the Ozaukee County Sheriff's Office. And at last check, their lines were busy. Tried to get through to them just a few moments ago. Got an immediate busy signal there. So what we know, again, a rollover bus crash appears to have happened at Highway E and J Road, involving up to 40 students on board. Multiple helicopters have been requested to the scene. And again, the school district is aware and says students were injured and are receiving medical attention on the scene. This is a very much breaking and developing situation. We will have plenty more throughout the morning on WTMJ.
Well, and your point about who has jurisdiction over this, from where we're going to get that information, you're dealing with southern Sheboygan County, in a district that is in Sheboygan County, but the accident actually having happened in northern Ozaukee. So, right, then you have these different entities, and nobody wants to step on anybody's toes in terms of who releases what information.
Exactly. It sounds like authorities in Grafton and West Bend are also involved. Okay. So again, very much a crossroads of rural districts and precincts, if you will. So many people responding to this right now.
Okay, obviously still developing is this breaking story in northern Ozaukee, southern Sheboygan County. We'll keep an eye on it for you and hope to have more information. Top of the hour news, 8:44 on Wisconsin's Morning News. And checking in with Debbie here on traffic around the metro.
All right. Yes, we do still have that intersection of National Avenue and Brewers Boulevard still closed off because of a deadly accident that happened there. Northbound on 41, just between North Avenue and Burleigh, we've got the left lane blocked with a crash there. So we got backups all the way back to the zoo with that one. Northbound 43 is going to be a little bit slow from the Plainfield curve all the way up past Oklahoma Avenue. Southbound side is going to be backed up from Silver Spring all the way down to about Capitol Drive. And then eastbound 94, watch for delays from 84th Street through the stadium. Westbound's just going to be slow right in the stadium interchange itself. Hey, while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever, overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
High school sports back underway, and if your athlete comes home from practice or a game all banged up, remember, you can walk right in at an Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin clinic. Vince Vitrano from my medical team at Ortho Wisconsin. You know, sometimes might even be the Monday after a Friday game here where your son or daughter's injury just doesn't seem to be getting any better. Maybe it was diagnosed on the scene or when it happened, right? But it doesn't get better, and you're concerned about it. The Ortho ASAP Clinic has hours Monday through Saturday in Pewaukee and Monday through Friday in Brookfield. You walk right in and get that thing checked out. Sprains, strains, dislocations, even fractures or possible fractures. They have x-rays available right there on site. Better than going and sitting in the waiting room at the ER or in urgent care, and now you already know you're in the hands of the great folks at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or make an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Guthrie & Fry Water Conditioning. I've got their water softener. I've got an RO system from Guthrie & Fry. That means the water coming into my house is filtered. It's crisp, clean, clear. Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie & Fry. Quality products and services at a fair price from a local company you can trust. Guthrie & Fry protects the water in my house. They deliver the salt. Sue and Rob, owners, very generous. And on top of it, they'll treat your family like their family. Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice is Guthrie & Fry.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie & Fry.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
8:48 on Wisconsin's Morning News, sharing this amazing story as we launch another WTMJ Cares initiative. Bayview native Lance Saijan, the Medal of Honor recipient, survived 46 days in the Vietnamese jungle before being captured and literally tortured to death. His fighter jet memorial at the Milwaukee airport, you see it right as you're driving into the airport, is now in desperate need of renovation. WTMJ's John Mercure has Lance's heroic story.
Lance Saijan was an All-American boy. He was all-conference in football at Bayview High School. He was president of his class and starred in the school musical. Charlie Larson became friends with Lance in kindergarten. They stayed close and were best friends for the next 20 years.
A leader is someone who has lots of followers. And Lance had lots of followers because he helped all of us around him elevate our game. So we all became better.
Lance's sister Janine was 12 years younger than him and remembers the day he left for the Air Force Academy.
I was almost inconsolable that I was in such tears.
The classwork at the academy was tough, but Lance thrived on the physical part of the training, and he worked hard in the classroom. After graduation from the academy, Lance became an F-4 Phantom fighter pilot. He knew his deployment to Vietnam would be dangerous.
And said, I will not be captured. I will not give in. And there was a great foreboding in his voice.
In Vietnam, the 25-year-old was almost immediately in harm's way. Lance sent this recording home to his family.
Of course, this place isn't really too secure an area. All night long, you can hear the artillery going off in the background.
November 9th, 1967. Lance and Colonel John Armstrong lifted off into the dark Vietnam sky on Lance's 52nd combat mission. Their F-4 streaked to the Ho Chi Minh Trail in Laos. The plane rolled into its target in the jungle below and released its bombs. The bombs were defective and exploded prematurely, engulfing the F-4 in a fireball. Lance ejected, was knocked unconscious, and landed in the jungle with a fractured skull, compound leg fracture, and a mangled hand. A few days later, the Cy-Johns got a knock at their Bayview front door.
I said, Mom, there's 2 Air Force men here. She knew what that meant. And she just went down to her knees. You could see the terror in her eyes before they spoke. I heard the back door opening, and I heard the usual whistle of my dad whistling through the back door. I heard his big dress shoes, heavy soles walking through the kitchen. And as he turned the corner, he saw the 2 Air Force men. And his head went back, and he howled like an animal. And he said, no, 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 no.
Severely injured, Lance evaded capture for 46 days.
There were times he would sit up against a tree and try and determine how many feet could he crawl again. Could he do 10 feet? Could he do 20 feet? And he would pass out from exhaustion.
When he was finally taken prisoner, Lance had gone from 220 pounds to 80. He was taken to a bamboo prison in the middle of the night, and the next day, one of his academy classmates and a fellow prisoner of war, Guy Gruters, saw Lance and didn't even recognize the shell of his friend.
I said, who are you? And he said, Lance. I said, Lance who? He said, Cy-John. I said, oh, no, not Cy-John. Not Cy-John. Not Cy-John. I was honestly in shock. I can literally pick him up in my arms like a baby.
Days turned into weeks, and Lance was tortured relentlessly, yet refused to give his captors any information.
He wouldn't answer anything else, so they beat him, and they beat him on his wound.
As his condition deteriorated, his fellow POWs begged Lance to save himself by answering questions. He refused to break the code of conduct.
I'm just so sad. The tears, my face is covered in tears.
Guy held Lance, his last moments in that dirty, cold, wet North Vietnamese prison.
When they took him out of there, he just called for, Dad, Dad, I need help. Dad, I need you. Dad.
The last moment of his life, the last moments when he spoke, were not in hatred for the enemy. They were in love for his father.
Lance Cy-John's family received his Medal of Honor 8 years after he died.
The guy is a hero for all ages. I mean, for the whole country, not just Milwaukee or Wisconsin.
I will be forever grateful for how he influenced my life.
Chris Cassidy runs the National Medal of Honor Museum.
To think about not only just surviving, but evading capture that whole time, it's just truly inspirational.
Now the plane and plaza that bear Lance's name at our airport are in need of repair.
We really have to do better at making sure that this looks presentable and honorable to keep the legacy and the story of Lance alive.
Dan Buttry is the president and CEO of the War Memorial Center.
Let's help pull this together and give this man the dignity in his memory. We owe it not just to the Cy-John family, but we owe it to this community. His story represents us. He was born and grew up in Bayview, Wisconsin.
John Mercure, WTMJ News.
And that replica of Lance Cy-John's fighter jet at the airport needs to be painted and repaired. If you'd like to contribute to help the restoration of our hero's plane and legacy, please text the word Lance to 855-616-1620. That's LANCE. Do the WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620. Checking in with Debbie here one more time before 9.
All right, we still have that closure, National Avenue at Brewers Boulevard. All directions are closed through that area with that deadly accident that they are still working on. On northbound 41, we did have another accident between Burleigh and North. That has been taken off the freeway, but the delays are solid out of the Zoo interchange all the way up there. We've also got eastbound 94 slowing down from 76th Street through the stadium, and southbound 43 riding the brakes basically from Silver Spring all the way down to North Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The newest man in charge of the dugout.
I'm thrilled today and excited to announce Pat Murphy.
But he's no stranger to us.
Quiz me, 1973 Notre Dame football. Quiz me, any player on the team.
Manager of our Milwaukee Brewers, Pat Murphy.
I mean, they're game to compete. They're very, very young. Doesn't always matter how much experience you have. It doesn't always matter. They can go ahead and compete with anyone.
Every Tuesday on Wisconsin's Morning News at 7:45. Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Holiday Automotive.
What is going on? Halfway through September and we're still roasting? Hi, everybody. Debbie Lazaga. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining just yet. I'm still enjoying my backyard to the nth degree with my beautiful retractable awning from Comfort Awnings in Burlington. Yep, we've got temps in the 80s and no rain in sight, but as long as the weather is holding out, I'm determined to relax under the beautiful shade of my retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. These guys service Southeast Wisconsin and Northern Illinois. They are your awnings and screenings experts. They custom make it to fit your home perfectly so it feels like it's been there all along. And right now, they've got a great deal. Until the end of September, you can get $250 off any awning or screen. So give them a call, 414-AWNINGS for a free estimate, or visit comfortawnings.com.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress. So my wife is planning to redo the living room. I'm told that includes buying all new furniture. So like couch, recliner, whatever. I don't even know what else. I do know we're going to Built Right. Built Right's Labor Day sale extended through Saturday. It's all about your comfort, your style, your home at Built Right. 4 generations, 96 years strong. Built Right always saves you money. 3rd and 4th generation family members on hand. They work in the store still, along with their experienced team. Be ready for holiday guests with thousands of items in stock. 500 mattresses. Custom orders much faster with Built Right. They have affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses for everyone, from petite to plus size, USA made, small scale, Amish and real solid wood furniture. Over 55 models of power lift recliners in stock. Free in-store design services as well. Built Right voted best place to shop. They're open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. Sunday they're closed to be with family. Tell them Vinny sent you to locally and family-owned Built Right, 5430 West Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition, not a drop of rain. In the 5-day forecast, mostly sunny and warm today with a high of 88 degrees, bit cooler near the lake. Pretty much the same thing on Tuesday, and then mostly sunny Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week, each day with temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. Right now, Milwaukee at 69 degrees, a WTMJ Political Power Hour with Steve Scafidi coming up next. Vince Vitrano here, letting you know there's still time to get your house painted before the snow flies with 2-day painting. 2-day painting not only beautifies your home's exterior, but protects it as well. Cracked or missing caulk, rotten wood, you do not want to go into the winter months without